muted. Let me get that. I think, alright.
Yes.
We're jumping into the semi-finals of the OBL. This is a much-awaited semi-finals matchup between Gmeow and Old and Washed. I'm joined by my two good gentlemen here, Jacob and Wrangel. How you doing, lads?
Oh, we're doing great. I'm excited.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Long
It's
long
great
day
to
of
be here.
work. Indeed.
How is
I'm really
traffic?
looking forward to this series.
Yeah, no, these are two amazing teams. Like I've had plenty of experience jumping in and messing about with Gmeow. Very strong team, really strong solo laners, and then obviously the jungle carry extraordinaire Tezza Boy himself in the jungle. But Old and Washed is a bit of a friendship story. You know, these guys have been doubted here and there, but they've really come through and shown that teamwork is the supreme set of skills here in this competition.
Yeah, I think we're looking at probably the two best mid jungles in the comp as well. Both Braden Griff and Tezaboy Gobos are very strong mid jungle combinations, so I think that's going to be absolutely crucial.
So we have jumped into draft. Sorry to get behind the pace of things, but we are jumping over to that now. Yeah, so early bans obviously Pantheon and Wukong away from Tezza, both champs that he is very comfortable on, and then the Z. I don't think we're going to be seeing Govos getting that Z anytime soon. And then Nidalee, Ari, and Karma bans. What are you thinking about those ones, Wrangle?
Just catching up on stream.
Ali?
Nidalee Karma, yeah, Nidalee and Zed. Obviously, obviously we expected that, right? We've got two, not one tricks, but two players that are just so strong on Nidalee and Zed respectively that you pretty much have to ban it. So no surprises there.
An early Aphelios pick, wanting to get that one out of the hands of Galaxy, as they've had some really good Aphelios performances down in the bot lane. So yeah, take that one away, and they are going to trade that for the Oriana, which you like, super blind pickable, and taking that away early on in the series just makes everything a little bit easier down the track. Paired up with the Mundo as well, seems to be a really nice jungle and mid combo to run with.
Yeah, for sure. I did see rumors in chat potentially about a Zed Nidalee trade for BRDN and Govos, but yeah, probably unlikely to come through, as fun as that would be.
Yeah, as I say every single time I watch Govos, no one wants to be put on a YouTube montage, so get that banned away, and then you don't have to deal with the shame of being on YouTube, getting starred on.
I haven't actually watched any of his montages. Are they edited well?
The editing's pretty rudimentary, but the plays are very sick, I gotta say, and especially because they're sort of higher end of Masters, lower end of Challenger plays, that they're pretty impressive. But, Wrangle, you're seeing the Aphelios Lulu, which is a pretty potent lane. If you're the side of Gmail, what are you drafting into that?
I know Abe's a bit of a Caitlyn player. Me personally, I love the Caitlyn matchup into Aphelios. Caitlyn is actually probably pretty good into Jarvan as well because you can obviously just net out of the Cataclysm. So that's what I'd be looking at personally.
Yeah,
Um,
so
the only
it is
issue with
Abe
that
on the
is,
Aphelios, actually.
oh yes, okay, yeah. So if I'm Galaxy, I'm looking at probably Yanara or Caitlyn. I know he plays Yanara.
Yep, so they've grabbed the Nami, which obviously is pretty much the best support right now. Does go well into the Lulu, but yeah, you do need something that can proc that W pretty easily and get off some good trades, because the Aphelios trades can get pretty intense, especially with a good pairing. If he has a red early, that is something you don't really want to face check into.
Yeah, I versed Galaxy's Aphelios in scrims so many times that I thought it's for sure Galaxy on Aphelios, but no, it makes sense that Abe's on this. It's a great denial pick away from Gmeow.
Yeah, and yeah, going for that is an early on draft just means you don't need to deal with it later on. Don't need to waste a bound on it. So yeah, heaps of power picks getting taken away early on in this draft. You know, the Jarvans, the Namis, the Orianas. So later down the line, these games 2 and potentially game 3, we could see some spicy team comps coming out.
I do like the Tezza Dr. Mundo as well too. Good performance
Yeah,
last time we saw that one come out, so Will be interesting
Yeah,
to see how he takes it again this time.
Mundo Oriana was actually the combination that Tezza and Gobos played to knock us out. So it's it's quite problematic in the later stages of the game. Obviously, the Mundo really scales up. So I think this Jarvan's on a bit of a timer to get some things done on the map early.
Yeah, it's essentially what the Lost Ratones used as well to pick up a couple good wins in the LEC rather. Yeah, that Mundo and the Oriana just seem to go together extremely well. Good synergy there. And the Neela pick, obviously, Galaxy is familiar with the Aphelios lane and must think that this is a pretty nice pairing into it.
Heard rumors that Galaxy plays a pretty mean Nyla. Never seen him pick it though. So I'm really excited to see this. It's probably the best option for ball delivery on Gmeow's side as well.
There's a sneaky good wombo combo coming in, and yeah, so they have blind picked the Mordekaiser. So let's just see what Gmail's thinking in terms of this top lane pick. What does go into well into the Mord? Potentially a Renekton if you like that lane, but you could just chuck on tank duty as well. You know, double tank in the top lane does seem to go well. And it looks like Griff is off of any kind of Lissandra, Annie, Ari hard engaged champ and is just resigned to putting some walls up with Jarvan.
It could be something with a bit more damage for Meat Bun. He does play a lot of set. Could see something like that come through.
Yeah, potentially. Meatbun did have an excellent performance on Cassante last time as well. That's been banned out. It's been noted. So we will see. Is he on tank duty or is he going for... Oh, it looks like they're pivoted and they're chucking the Mundo in the top lane and giving Oriana an equally good pairing with the Nocturne.
Yeah, Nocturne Oriana obviously a pretty notorious mid jungle combo. Makes sense to me putting the Mondo top lane here for sure.
And especially into this immobile Anivia, you can't really wall off the paranoia, so I think they've pivoted really nicely into the second half of this draft, giving themselves some nice sort of comfort picks. One thing is they do lack a little bit of range. You know, there is quite a lot of area denial away on the side of Old and Washed. You know, they do have Cataclysm. The Mordekaiser's going to be able to take away one of the members for some portion of the fight. And then the wall from Anivia. Some of these chokes can get a little bit hard to get through. And with the short range nature of Gmeow's comp, the paranoia really is the main engage.
Yeah, there is definitely a lot of building going on for Old and Washed. I think interesting with the Mundo going top as well, it can be deceptively higher health than the jungle version, as you will probably, take Grasp and Overgrowth as opposed to Fleet Footwork. So if you're used to playing into Mundo in the jungle a lot, especially, it could be quite jarring to realize how much health he ends up with when it comes to that 30-minute time.
Yeah, and it's a much bigger of a split push threat. Where usually Mundo, you get a couple of items, you start venturing into the enemy jungle, trying to steal camps, trying to just rustle some feathers. Whereas this Mundo top, you pick a side lane and you just go straight. You just run it straight. You're gonna hit a lot of towers. You're gonna deal a lot of damage with that demolish. So coming into the late game, I'm not too sure if Maud can deal with it. I think he might have to try and get a couple early kills, get that Rift Maker nice and early and potentially an Oblivion Orb. And then he might be able to duke it out with the old Mundo. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting balance of sort of split push and team fighting for the side of Gmeow. A little bit more dynamic, whereas Old and Washed is pretty much all eggs in one basket in terms of having a strong team fighting comp.
Yeah, I think this Nyla might have some issues getting in team fights with the Anivia.
Yeah, that Anivia does definitely dominate a lot of space and is going to force Gmeow to really work around him as he pilots that champ, especially if he, as Grunky mentioned, does close those choke points, puts the wall up effectively, and splits up Gmeow.
Absolutely. We might try and get Wrangel in the lobby potentially, so you can watch. Otherwise, I can put up a stream on the Discord for you to check out.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could stream the game for Wrangel if you need.
Oh yeah, that works as well. That works. That means swap.
And do you
around.
have the draft link as well by any chance?
I do. Let me get that to you real quick.
Thanks.
What is your name's Jiro, right?
Yeah, 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 perfect.
There we go. And I'm not sure if I have you added on League Wrangel, but
I can just send it to him.
yeah,
It's all
yeah,
good.
send that through to him. But yeah, so you're saying in these team fights for the Nilo is going to be a bit of a hard situation, but how does the lane play out? Obviously, Aphelios has got his Lulu, which he does like more than pretty much any other support, apart from maybe a Nautilus here and there, but that's kind of an ideal lane for the Aphelios. But how does the Nila Nami work into this one?
So
Like,
from my limited knowledge of Nyla, I know she's pretty strong into Aphelios. The way I think this is going to play out is the Aphelios Lulu going to have some early priority, just because Nyla's not really able to do much level 1 with only the Q. So she'll probably get poked out a bit on the first 3 waves and shoved in, but she'll be completely fine with the Nami sustain. Obviously, the Nyla passive increases healing from all sources, right? So she's going to be completely fine just sustaining up against this lane. And I think in the 2v2 all-ins, the Nyla Nami probably wins.
Mm,
you've seen some great Nami plays from support players recently, making great use of those bubbles and buffs that can be applied to their ADCs.
Yeah, and I think this is actually Flufaso's best champ, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I
It is
mean,
his most played champ on his main account this season, at least.
definitely pays to be a good Nami player right now. That champ is absolutely busted.
Yeah.
Has she dodged the nerfs, or is it patched today?
I think the patch has come out today. Usually is a Thursday,
Okay.
right? Let me
Yep.
check the shop and see is the Swain skin out because it'll be the indicator. Yep, so all of those skins are out, and that must mean all of the nerfs and adjustments coming out as well. I think there was a slight nerf to Ari as well, and not too many other ones. It was quite an insignificant patch in terms of like what we've had the last couple patches.
Yeah, they didn't touch many champions this time around. Some of the last patches have been pretty ridiculous with how many champions they've targeted in one go.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that looks like the ebb and flow specifically was nerfed.
Looks like the players have done Cardinal Sin and they've made the lobby tournament draft. And
Oh,
even after I've mentioned that it is tournament draft, I have been ignored as I'm just a measly caster.
that's all right.
That's
They love us. I'm sure they
absolutely
love
good.
us.
Gives us some more time to talk about what's going on. And while we have a little bit of time, I'm gonna swap over to this graphic I made. So yeah, the Grunks key matchup of this series. I've gone with Govos and Griff. While there are some, potentially the two best junglers in the league and two ADCs that are really hot on form right now, both Griff and Govos are two players that I really sort of look at to see in terms of where the OBL meta is at right now, sort of what playstyles are working right now. I've shared the lane with Govos a couple times, and yeah, his carry potential and his team fighting is awesome. But one of the main features I like about him is he's extremely calculated. He's very patient and takes fights only that he needs to take. He's good at weighing up the options between split pushing and farming and whether or not he should be at a fight. And then on the other side, it's a very, very different playstyle. Griff has got some really great engage angles. He's always a backline threat on these picks like Vex, Lissandra, and Ari. He plays with tempo extremely well, and he just likes throwing down. He likes picking up plenty of kills, and he likes getting in the mix. So yeah, out of these two mid laners, guys, what do you see in this mid lane matchup?
I think for sure the agency Gophos does have in the mid lane. And just the weight his name seems to carry when spoken about could be, somewhat hard for Griff to play into. But I think he will do perfectly fine overall. I mean, if you look at champion bans, it does look like Gmeow are banning two of his champs as opposed to only Govos' Zed actually ending up getting banned out of five. So they definitely rate Griff quite highly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's these awkward picks that he's willing to play, you know? The Lissandra obviously got buffed last patch as well, so and this patch, I think, as well. So she's in a super strong spot, especially into Govos' champion pool. And then Ari still, you know, nerfs to her absolutely meant nothing. Still a top tier, top 3 mid laner right now. And then that Vex is such a wild card pick, especially in the mid lane. You know, not many people play the Vex, but in the right hands is such a pain to deal with.
Yeah, when that Vex gets ahead, it does just blow up other champs pretty quickly.
You had the chance to play against Griff, Grunk?
I have not. We did try and organise a couple scrims, but I'm never able to get a hold of them. So only really just the games I have casted of him I've got to do. Obviously with Govos I've had a little bit more first-hand experience. But nah, Griff, do you have any insider info on how it is to face Griff?
I've played against him a few times. Obviously, never lane against him. But yeah, I'd say is quite a calculated player. In general chat, they like to call him the gardener, because he supposedly sits under his tower all game. And I think for a flashy player like Govos who wants to be aggressive and get some solo kills in lane, he might find that a bit frustrating, because Griff is for sure going to play a bit of a neutralizing style, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was one of the best compliments I received all season. Was Govos told me I was the hardest to solo kill lane that he's faced so far in the tournament. So, you know, I'll wear that with a badge of honor. He didn't say I was the best. He didn't say I was the most skillful. He just said I was the hardest to solo kill, and so I'll wear that.
That's
I'll
still
wear that
something.
badge of honor.
Yeah, we take those.
Of course, of course.
And I think I
Looks
think
like
he
we
only
just
solo
got
killed
the
me once.
just waiting out the spectator delay here now.
Yep, about two.
Should be in game shortly.
Did you
Two
feel
and a
lots?
half minutes.
Did you feel lots of pressure from him in the lane phase?
In the first game, definitely. I can't remember what I was playing in the first game. We lost to them 2-1, but in the first game I can't remember what I played. In the second game I played Victor into him, and I had a really good game. Just hit him with max range Qs, which I think frustrated him quite a lot. And then in the last game it was a TF into Cassidy matchup, and they got the counter pick on me. But I went D-Blade first, and went Hex Gunblade, but went Vamp Scepter first B, and I was just like auto-attacking the shit out of him, and it was a very entertaining matchup. But that was a game where Tezza went atomic. But yeah, no, he's definitely one of those players where it's a ticking time bomb. As a player, he kind of feels like versing Cassidon, where he can go 0-3 in lane, but you just know there's going to be a team fight where he picks up a lot of gold, and he's really able to take advantage of that big gold spike and really impose himself on the map with just a little bit of a gold lead here and there. So that is definitely a scary aspect of versing him, and was something that I could tell after the first two games when he did have this Cassidon pick. I'm like, shit. If I give him an inch, he is going to take a mile.
Yeah, I actually remember that series. I think game 2 where you guys won was the game where Imposter completely popped off on Warwick top, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, no, I was actually playing Scion mid, I think, potentially. I can't remember.
That was.
But yeah,
That sounds like a good pick into Govos.
Yeah, no, I was definitely picking that into whatever matchups I can. But yeah, get Imposter on any form of carry, and our comp is great. It's obviously, we had our final series as KNS, and there were 5 top lane bans, and wasn't ideal.
Yeah, I was there, and Imposter does need 5 bans thrown.
Definitely, such a talented player. I'm really excited to see where they end up next split. As we were sort of on the cusp of getting into that playoffs with a little bit of a ragtag team, but unfortunately we didn't make it just at the end. But just goes to show our group was, quite good, quite challenging.
Will you be making an appearance next split?
Hopefully, yeah. I'm away for the first 2 games, so I've just been trialing for a couple different teams, trying to land a spot. So yeah, we'll see where I end up, but definitely excited to play again. You know, I feel like since starting to play competitive again, I've really found my footing in terms of what I want to do on the Rift and that kind of stuff. You can only really do so much playing solo queue, you know, apart from get like bad mental, and playing comp just really allows you to upskill yourself a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you, Wrangel? Are you gonna play next season?
Yeah, I've actually already got a team sorted for next
Oh,
season. So I'm really looking forward
very
to it.
very nice.
Any insider knowledge onto what the roster's looking like?
Yeah, happy to share. So it's me and Lox. Lox and I played together for quite some time, so it'd be good to play with him in the OBL. I got Jibby mid. I think he's really good, so I'm really looking forward to playing with him. I got Jetman in the jungle, so we're running it back. And then I've got Slamp top. So I think we've got quite a strong roster.
No, that
That does
is.
sound like a very strong roster.
It sounds like a bit of a Coven setup.
Yeah, that'll be our name.
Shout out to your team owner as well. There's been a little bit of movement on the All Stars rosters, and Fancy has actually made it onto the board for the All Stars for the Div 2.
Oh, W fancy.
Yes, that'll be great to see for sure.
So yeah, as you can see, this Nyla and Nami have had to walk into their lane from River just because getting bullied so hard. So they're probably actually going to miss out on some XP. Nyla's okay to miss a bit of XP, obviously, with a passive, but it still doesn't feel the best to get pushed off the first wave like that.
Yeah, just keep running us through. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust some stream elements really quickly.
Yeah. So, looks like the Orianna pushing in a bit first, and we've already got a bit of an invade from the J4 into, I was going to say, into
Into a
Tez's
pause.
jungle, but there's a pause, which is what we're actually going to be into. Looks like there's a bit of an issue mid, so just going to hang tight. Well, either, I think, Govos figures himself out. Pretty sure that was a red tag, I saw her say that. And yeah, hopefully this won't take too long. What do you think about the BRDN invade onto Tezza right at the start of the game? What do you think that's going to lead to?
I don't know if it's gonna. It might lead into a split map situation based off what I'm seeing. Either Tezza checks his camps and realize they're gone, but Tezza's a pretty clued on jungle player. He might realize something's up here, and just go into the top side of Brayden. It doesn't look like there's any chance of a gank or a dive for Jarvan. So he's obviously just gonna go clear his bot side.
Yeah.
Or he might do something really crazy and just go straight to his top side and try and force the Nocturne off.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I
ideally
mean,
on
Nocturne.
Jarvan, you want to, get as much pressure down as possible. I think on Tezza, if he doesn't manage to get that dive off, you kind of just need to suck it up and start your clear again, really.
Obviously, yeah, that level 6 so valuable as well for the Nocturne. Kind of powerless a little bit without it, especially into a J4 pre-level 6. So
Yeah,
I
Surprisingly,
wouldn't be surprised.
any disruption to the Nocturne getting level 6 will be great for Oldham Washed.
yeah, I mean, surprisingly good early though. Old Nocturne, especially into this Java matchup. If you can dodge the knock up, you can get the Conqueror stacks off. The fair lasts a decent amount of time. You can get a decent trade off, but it'll really just come down to which lane can get down there and contest more. Obviously, early game, Anivia and Oriana aren't going to do too much, but yeah, just whoever's going to get there first, I think, is going to be the difference maker.
Yeah, it does look like Oriana has priority at the moment, which makes sense to me. I haven't seen this matchup play out very much, but obviously Oriana has the Q level 1 on a way shorter cooldown than Anivia's Q and the passive, so lots of pushing power with the auto attacks. So yeah, this Oriana should have priority. Honestly, probably until the Anivia's 6, and then she can kind of fight back with the wave clear.
Yeah, definitely Oriana level 1. Extremely potent. They have nerfed the Q a couple times recently, but still just an absolute menace in their early game. Usually need to sack at least a couple minions off of that first wave just to keep healthy, just to keep your health up. But Griff has gone for the Ignite So there is the kill threat there if he's able to get the perfect Q proc off in that lane. Possibly could get a nice little trade-off and force Govos back, even after getting shoved in under tower. But, you know, early game Anivia, you don't want to be farming under tower. You don't have many tools to pick up extra CS.
Yeah, it's
but
very bold of Griff to take Ignite.
With the J4 though, could be coming around for pre-6 gank as well mid lane, as that Orianna will be pushed up quite a bit, so it could just potentially be taking it to try to secure early kills onto Orianna.
Yeah, and the Mordekaiser's also taking Ignite, which you kind of have to into Mundo top, right? There's no point in taking Teleport. You've got to take Ignite. Just try and cut his healing, especially when he's level 6, and go for those early solo kills, because you are inevitably outscaled.
Yeah, I mean, the Mordekaiser, you know, he's a great duelist, and it's interesting that he has gone for the D shield first. I feel like he could have been a bit better served, maybe going for something a little bit more aggressive. As you know, the percentage damage from the cleaver doesn't really get negated too much by a D shield. And we're back in.
And there we go. Good to go.
Back in the game, and yep, level 2 advantage for the side of the Lulu and the Aphelios, just as we suspected. And then obviously we got to have the post-pause glitch.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which,
classic.
Is this a spectator bug?
Yeah.
It is a spectator bug.
It usually only lasts for like 30 seconds or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you guys looking at top
Right.
lane right now?
Yeah, we get a great view of Meat Bun's. Is it? I want to say ukulele.
Yeah, he's caught.
Yeah,
It's got 4 pins on it.
He's
Looks
caught
like he's
up.
about to throw it.
There we go.
What a prediction.
Had some good trading going onto the Mord already. Alright, so Tezza has sprung the trap. He's realised
Yep.
that he needs to head to this top side, and it looks like they are just looks like Can You Dream might be able to get this kill. A flash Q could pick it up. Oh, he misses the flash Q, and now Meatbun sees the angle to turn. One more Q from the Mundo. He might be able to get this one back. A flash auto E can get the kill. Oh, a nice juke on that one. As Burden's sniffing out Tezza in the top lane. He is going to have the red buff to try and get him back. There's action all over the map. Meatbun is going extremely low. A beautiful W usage by You Can Dream gets him out of that, and as the smoke settles, a big wave is crashing under tower, but Burden is around to help out.
Yeah, and Brayden manages to push Nocturne out of his jungle, which is huge. But this Nocturne might just go and invade the bot side.
Golden Features is here. All the fear tethers come out. Tezza's going to chase down this poor little Lulu. They are going to get the Scuttle Crab, but that is at least 2 camps that Tezza Boy hasn't had access to in this early game, so big win for the side of Old and Washed.
Yeah, it's going to disrupt his time to hit level 6 on the Nocturne as well.
And with this priority with the bot lane as well, you'd be hard pressed. It looks like Tezza is going to test the waters here and go for this invade onto the red buff, but they sniff it out, and here comes the Aphelios. Unfortunately, he just needs to give it up.
There is backup now.
Sticking
Still
around.
in the area though. Yep.
Sticking around. Do we see?
He's
going for it. He's level 3. Oh!
he doesn't get it.
No smite in range.
Yeah, and the heal committed by the Nami, that doesn't feel very good.
And it's just wasted time as well for Tezza on that, as now he's got 2 quadrants with both having camps up. He could have had at least one of those done instead of waiting around to get nothing from the Jarvan.
On the flip side though, they've got really good tracking on this Jarvan. Looks like Galaxy, they know that the Jarvan's there and they still opt for the engage. The Gravitum Q is going to come out. Will they be able to get any sums out of Fluffy? So a flash just to get away the EQ. I was just about to say they had awesome tracking on this Jarvan, but still fell for the gank, even on vision.
Yeah, the bubble was good, but it kind of meant Flufiso was just there a little bit too long, and does have to flash out from the Jarvan, who is now going to try to disrupt Tezza even more by continuing up into his jungle and take the Grom.
This is a really aggressive pathing by Brayden. Nami trying to push him off, but I'm not sure she's going to be able to stop stop the Jarvan here.
Yeah,
I do like it.
smart.
They've got a wave pushed in down there as well too. So
Nami
it's not like-
obviously also very prone to the Jarvan Cataclysm, so I expect Brayden to come down bot lane and try and abuse the lack of flash on the Nami when he's level 6.
Absolutely. And it won't be available also in time for this first dragon as well, but pretty much the only way 4 of these champions can get out of the Cataclysm is by flash. You know, Nocturne, unless he ults onto someone else, the Mundo, the Orianna, and the or even the Neela needs someone to jump to be able to get out of this. So, oh, it looks like a nice engage
great
onto
bubble.
golden features. No mana for Galaxy though. Is just got auto attacks. They are going to commit everything, but it looks like Abe is going to be able to easily turn around on this. Is he going to be able to get the Gravitum Q propped off? A nice bubble gets them out of harm's way, but yeah, traded sums.
And Nocturne's coming down though, but he's not 6 yet, still 5.
They might start up this dragon.
Potentially looking
but
onto Dragon. Yeah,
I don't know
they do a bit of prio down there.
if you can take this dragon with just the tunneler on the Nocturne. They might just use the pressure and see if they can group 3 onto it. Govos is coming down to help out as well.
Yeah, that might be a dragon for Gmeow.
Potentially going to get... This Jarvan is level 6, as well as the Anivia. This could definitely be a fight angle here. It's a nice Cataclysm onto 3, a double knock-up onto 2. Galaxy is going to go down, and the Anivia picks up a kill. Unfortunately, it's just a 2 for 1, so not terrible,
Yeah.
but the Jarvan will pick up the dragon on the other side. Griff is looking for more. He is as Tezza's going to scuttle out of there. That was an enormous Cataclysm to start off the game here.
Yeah, that was a great engage by Jarvan, starting off with the Cataclysm and then EQing out of it, leaving the members of Gmeow stranded in there with an Icebird to just absolutely cook them.
Yeah, Anivia, well, probably froze them, more likely, inside the Cataclysm, but
She
same
does have
result
Ignite,
either
though.
way.
She cooks them. She cooks
Yeah.
them
Yeah, but the
away.
Ignite was on a Nocturne. She froze froze Galaxy and Flufiso. But same result anyway, with now a double kill for Griff. Phenomenal
Yeah,
start.
And on an Anivia where you kind of need those 2 items to start really being a menace, 2 kills early is pretty much a one-way trip to getting those items.
And this Orianna blue flash, and this Anivia has Swifties, so she's going to be able to get in range to wall the Orianna off. So this should be a very dangerous situation for Orianna. She's going to be mindful of every mid wave and where this Jarvan is.
And no tear for Griff just yet. I'm sure it will pay a bit of dividends if he picks that up at some point, as I'm pretty sure the Archangels is quite essential on this Anivia. But yeah, it looks like Govos isn't going for that build itself. Looks like a little bit of dueling in the mid lane. Griff does quite a lot of damage. The Shockwave gets used onto Griff. As the nearsightedness comes out, he's going to push him under tower. Pops the egg. Are they able to do any more? That's not going to be the case, but here is Bird.
That's the
He
flash
is here
with
on
Orianna.
Yeah,
She's just dead.
He doesn't have Cataclysm just up yet. Tezza's going to be kiting away. So it is...
Yeah, no
Here's
Cataclysm.
Griff though.
Oh, it's a nice EQ knock-up onto Tezzabor. He's going to burn his flash. As everyone scuttles away, lots of flashes burned. Yeah, definitely this Jarvan is showing up at the right time, at the right place right now.
Yeah, how unfortunate for Brayden that he didn't have the Cataclysm. That was an almost guaranteed kill on the Orianna there if he had that up.
Yeah, it was very close to being up. You can see it's up now, but he might use it as he's still facing Tezza in Tezza's jungle.
Yeah, he's by the walls right now. I think he might actually go down here.
Yeah,
oh, nice
onto
Cataclysm
Govos.
onto Govos. The kill will be traded back as Galaxy X is looking for a 2v1 in the bot lane, but he is up shit creek without a paddle. And just as that happens as well, Flufiso is getting Severumed. Oh, is that Severumed? What is that one called? What is the,
I have no
what is the
idea.
white gun called? Wrangel, you should know this one.
Oh, I'm not an Aphelios player. What I do know is that red, white, don't fight.
Yeah, that is the classic. And he has currently got blue-white, which is not as effective, but, I mean, green-white, I guess.
It's alright. It still rhymes with don't fight, so it doesn't matter anyway. Nami should have been thinking about that.
And holy, if we avert our attention to the items on the side of Old and Washed, there is at least 4 Kindle gems in the inventory, so they've got a lot of weight right now. And not Kindle gems, rather, just the red ruby crystal.
Ruby crystals, yeah. And Jarvan managing to escape the... Not going to escape the pause.
Jungle IRL issues. Unfortunately, Tezza is facing some IRL issues right now.
Yeah, so the Aphelios white gun is called the Crescendum, as someone
Crescendo.
in chat's pointed out.
Send them.
And you get a bunch of chakrams when you press Q with that gun.
Sorry, good to go.
Good to go straight back into it. We will get some kind of glitch happening at some point, I'd assume.
Yeah. But it's a shame that Govos walked over to try to help Tezza in his jungle, because it gave BRDN a target to Cataclysm onto, and then after securing the kill, managed to escape when it was just a Nocturne.
I felt
He had
like,
to go back up
yeah,
against.
it was a very un-Govos-like play there. You know, in terms of the
Yeah,
caliber of player is, that was just a bit sloppy. In terms
You'd think
of
he
knowing
would
his
have known
positioning.
that Cataclysm was up, because it wasn't used in the fight before it.
Obviously, everyone can play. I mean, most people can play Orianna pretty well, but he might be, you know, a little off comfort in terms of wanting this blind pick. But forcing Griff out here does have the Nocturne with Paranoia in the wings. Yeah, it's you know, quite a large gold lead even at this point in the game. 10 minutes in, around 3k gold, 2.5k.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing where the damage is coming from on the side of Gmeow to get through this Sundered Sky Jarvan. The item heals so much, and he's ahead. He's going to be very problematic to get through.
Yeah, Jarvan's at almost a 800, 900 gold lead right now on
The Aphelios.
Tezza.
So with the Lulu ult as well, he's going to be very hard to take down in these team fights.
Yeah, I mean, Oldham Washed have been showing some awesome drafting lately. You know, just has these well-rounded team comps that can deal with a lot of different threats and also, you know, play this traditional front-to-back style.
It looks like this Aphelios is opting for a Yuntal first. No, Stormrazor, sorry. And this Nyla should be going for a Yuntal herself.
It's not
looks
been
like-
much. I was gonna say it's not been much proactive action onto the Mundo either, who's just got to sit on top and do what he wants this entire time.
I think that's really the win con here, like at the moment, is ooh, a nice trade onto Govos. Props.
Yeah, Gmeow have almost no chance of contesting Dragons in the state they're in at the moment. So this Mundo is everything for them right now. You can see this Aphelios has bought the Stormrazor, so he's going to be just that much more threatening with the extra move speed.
Yeah.
And that dragon is gonna go over to Old and Washed. Well, I think it will. Tez is here.
If the interaction is you can Maud ult the Nocturne mid-air and remove the ball potentially. Oh, a nice steal from Tezza Boy and an awesome shockwave combo, and they're getting put in the blender. In comes Burden. He's a little bit late and they might find another one. Meat Bun is joining the action. Mundo is going where he pleases, but that was an awesome Paranoia shockwave combo onto the bot lane of Old and Washed. Golden Features had flashed there, didn't even get time to use it.
I don't know. I swear that dragon, there was time for BRDN to smite it before Tezza was in a vicinity.
just
Because it looked like it went quite low before it actually got smited.
He walked up and just stole it. Potentially he didn't have smite up at that time, but yeah, good timing from Tezza there.
Yeah, and that just goes to show the power of the Paranoia shockwave combo. You can't even flash it if it's done correctly. So yeah, this Aphelios is going to be very, very vulnerable to that in future team fights.
I believe Govo's feeling a little bit better about himself. Now he's got a few assists to his name.
Yeah, and
Meat Bun's got 3 giant belts to his name. Probably Warmogs first, is it?
Yeah.
3 giant belts?
well, you usually go Warmogs into the
Heartsteel,
Heartsteel, yeah.
yeah.
But you'll get the extra Giant's belt so you can get the Warmogs passive going.
Interesting.
Another nice trade for Griff. Does have the blue buff, so might be able to get extra damage. Oh, a nice follow-up E there. But he doesn't have the tear still, so, you know, a little bit of build variation for this Anivia early.
Some action in the jungle for Tezza.
Oh, Tidal Wave misses. Another Shockwave combo goes onto the Jarvan. A huge Neela ult onto 3 on the background. But Galaxy X is going low. Trades, kills traded across the board. Everyone's going low. Abe goes down as well. This Anivia just a little bit late to the fight. But kills are now 6-6. Gold is even. Gmeow have found these 2 fights and have really just caught up.
Yeah, Teza's now at 4-2, so still behind his CS. Was looking quite dire at the start, but has pretty quickly come online and is quite a menace right now for Old and Washed.
I know, that's the Teza effect. Just whatever game he's in, he can find the picks, he can find the angles, he can find some opportunities to start these fights, and you know, an aggressive invade by the Jarvan gets punished almost immediately.
As you can see, the paranoia is already up from this Nocturne, so there is just so much pressure on the map for Gmeow right now.
I think that was almost like a 12-minute hex plate, which is just exactly what you want on the Nocturne. He is looking at this bot lane, potentially, and one of the biggest recipients of this is Galaxy X, you know, being able to get those early pressure taken off of him. Picks up the Infinity Edge first item, which is interesting, and a nice flash from Teza, reads the room. A nice Gravitum Q finds Teza. Will he be able to get the kill? Tidal Wave just goes wide by a little. No flash on the Nocturne, but they will be able to pick up this bot
Tidal
lane
Wave.
tower.
And that darkness from Teza will be out quite quickly. Probably have at least 3 stacks of Ultimate Hunter completed now.
The Jarvan has found Teza though, and he is a big Jarvan right now. The Wild Growth goes into them. They just turn straight onto Golden Features, and the teleport out by Teza. A little bit BM there, but Galaxy X gets off the ult. Does Burden have the EQ in time? No, he doesn't. And everything is falling apart. These aggressive plays are getting punished. And, you know, Gmeow taking a little bit of time to wake up, but now they're here. Oh, a nice Shockwave combo and all angles getting surrounded. Griff on this Anivia is getting turned into a poached egg by 3. Unfortunate that it's falling apart like them for this here.
Yes, it is indeed eggs on the menu right now, as BRDN, he forgot he wasn't ahead anymore when he tried to engage on the Teza, and does just go down quite quickly, as Teza does Hexgate out of there.
Yeah, and
then Griff pushing up.
Old and Washed were nearly 3,000 gold up just 5 minutes ago, so about a 5,000 gold swing in just about 5 minutes.
And
really good turnaround from Gmeow.
Wrangel, put yourself in the shoes of Abe here. You know, you're wanting to stop the bleeding. You just want to farm up and try and get an extra item, but the longer you leave it, the more of a threat that this Mundo becomes to you. What are you thinking in terms of what you're telling your team right now in terms of direction for the rest of the game?
If I'm the Aphelios, I wanna slow a game. I don't want anyone on the map to be getting Nocturne ulted, so I think they really need to bide their time and wait for this Aphelios Lulu combo to come online. He's not gonna really be online until he gets to that Infinity Edge, but with those daggers in his pocket, it looks like he's gonna commit to the Greaves. So it's gonna be quite a while before he's able to complete that.
Yeah, and especially with this third dragon being up, they will get some gold onto this top lane. In mid lane tower rather, and then we'll pivot top lane, just giving up the dragon. But I mean,
Looking for Mundo.
yeah, there's a good team fight comp on the side of Old and Washed. You really do want to be picking your battles and just 5-manning these objectives. It's a good start though, 3-man diving top, but it looks like Teza might make it in time. Will the Mundo go down? Looks like he will be able to just get whacked away at.
Yeah, and you have to be terrified in these team fights as Aphelios with the Nocturne Orianna combo. You can't actually flash it if they do it correctly. I'm wondering if the Wild Growth can cancel the Nocturne ult. Is he unstoppable during it?
I don't think he is. I think you can. Oh, but you can't Poppy W is what I recall. I'm not too sure,
Yeah.
actually.
So it might just be a guaranteed ball right onto the Aphelios. So it's going to be a matter of can the Lulu ult and shield keep him alive. But with how fed the Nocturne Ori is, he might just be destined to die every time those 2 ultimate abilities are up.
Yeah, and if Teza opts for a Serpent's Fang, there's pretty much nothing that they can do. Which actually would be a good buy, you know, into the Mordekaiser and the Jarvan. Obviously, his W isn't a massive shield, but, you know, everything helps, and when you're thinking of buying a Serpent's Fang, you're really trying to justify the value to yourself.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what direction Tezza goes with his build. Nocturne obviously has so many options with his build. Got a very diverse. He's a very diverse champion in that respect. He could opt for something like the Axiom Arc just to get even more ultimates out. He could go Death's Dance. He could go an early Guardian Angel.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see what direction he goes in.
Yeah, typically in sort of higher levels of play, you will see that third item GA on pretty much every jungler. As you know, it just means you can engage without having to worry too much about it, you know? If your engage tool is the end-all be-all of a team comp, go for it. But yeah, even like a Black Cleaver, it does look like he might be getting a Jack Show maybe, or...
It could be a Mercury Treads into Death's Dance / Guardian Angel as well.
Oh yeah, even crazier, it could be a Zeke's.
Zeke's?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's not got enough damage on it directly for Tezza.
Even more ultimate reduction though.
That is true, ultimate reduction. I mean, that Dark Hunter stack has got to be 4 stacks now out of 5, right? We're only waiting for the Mordekaiser now.
I do think Wrangel is correct here though. It will be probably a Tabbies or Mercs into another sort of item, but the Death Dance would get pretty good value here as there's not much insane burst. As a nice shockwave combo does go down onto the Bird. Here is Burden though to try and back up his mid laner. This Bird is going hectically low and is going to go down at the same time. A nice side lane pick, just up a little bit too much, and Burden is going to go down as well. Tidal Wave just going a little bit wide as a couple of them have this game. But correct me if I'm wrong, is his name, it's pronounced Braden, is it?
Yeah, it's Braden. I used to say Burden as well.
I've been saying BRDN now.
Yeah, I asked the man himself, and he told me Braden, so that's what I roll with. You can really see the problem that Old and Wash face with the side laning threat of the Nocturne Orianna. Griff wasn't even past his destroyed tier 1 tower, and he got completely caught out by the Nocturne Orianna combo.
And they're finally going for a 1v1 in the top lane. You Can Dream has completed the items he wants to take down this Mundo and just bonks him on the head. The Rift Maker plus the Ignite really just cuts through anything that Meat Bun has to offer.
Yeah, I didn't really rate the solo kill ability for the Mordekaiser to the Mundo, so it's surprising to see that come through as confidently as he did. So You Can Dream, obviously, a very, very good Mordekaiser player. Must see something there that we don't. Goes 1-0-1.
Yeah, as soon as he gets that passive popped, means he can just ult him, chuck him in the realm, and with the Rylai slows, you know, there's no Swifties on the side of Mundo, no Merc Treads. It's quite hard to get away, you know. The Riftmaker will be ticking, dealing that extra true damage and healing. There's a bit of a menace with these two items. It looks like he's going Leandre's third as well, so really just doubling down on trying to disrupt the side lane threat of the Mundo.
I'm very interested to see who goes heel cut on Old and Wash, because people might think the obvious option is Aphelios, but LDR has the Giant Slayer passive on it, obviously, which is it just provides so much value against the Mundo. He just stacks health, right? So it'd feel bad if he has to go Mortal Reminder.
Would be the probably the Oblivion Orb into maybe a late Morel Nomicon on the Anivia, I'd say, as he's able to hit quite a few different people.
Yeah, you can definitely apply it better than the Aphelios, that's for sure. And you'd prefer the LDR value against the Mundo.
He's just going to be whacking away.
Rose has got the 10 Magias stacks.
In the Proto Belt on the Orianna. He did go for this last week as well, so interesting build choice. I kind of like it though.
Odd wall placement. I mean, looking for the dragons, a tidal wave does get braided.
Nice shockwave combo, but they're all going to turn onto the Galaxy X is in the mix. This team fight is going to play out front to back, but Galaxy is going back in. He is currently in the realm with the Mordekaiser getting whacked on, and he will come out and go down to Braden, shut down onto the jungler. Meat Bun is trying to soak up as much damage as possible. Tezza is looking for another angle back in, but he's getting closed out by all of the control. Abe is in a 1v1 with Mundo on the back. He goes down, and it's a one fight for Old and Washed. just when you thought that Gmeow was running away with the game, a nice team fight from the side of Old and Washed.
And what did I say before about Aphelios? Red, white, don't fight.
Yeah,
Mundo
Oh,
just completely commits to the Aphelios, who's got that really powerful gun combination, as we see a pause coming through.
Griff has said he's
Yeah.
done. His work is done. Or maybe he's realised he hasn't bought a tier yet and he's rage quitting the game.
Meatbun just needed one more auto to get him.
It's a very interesting split up, but as you see, like, as soon as Galaxy went down, the damage is kind of non-existent from the side of from Gmeow. You know, a couple Qs being thrown out there from Govos, but nothing to it in terms of significant poke out.
Yeah, and really crucially, this Mordekaiser got ahead, so he's able to 1v1 the Nyla. Nyla is obviously really potent in 1v1s later in the game, so it's really crucial that this Mordekaiser got ahead, as he's able to isolate the Nyla from the team fight. It's an outright killer.
And the draft from Old and Wash is looking really good at this point, you know, with all of the area control, the Cataclysm, the walls, the Anivia ults, the Mordekaiser controlling space in itself. Yeah, it's just not enough range on the side of Gmeow unless they get off that perfect shockwave combo, which they essentially did in that fight, and they didn't win it.
They did, but the follow-up just wasn't there. They were able to, Old and Wash were able to just sustain through it, and the Nocturne was forced to flash out, and that's where the fight went wrong for them.
Yeah, you could see Griff zoning them away from. It was quite split between Meatbun around the pit where the dragon was, and then Griff had zoned Tezza and Govos off, and they couldn't really actually get in to help out with the Aphelios or get onto BRDN and all. Lots of pings coming out all over the place. Baron is up now. Looks like a couple members of Old and Washed are thinking about it. Thinking about pinging for vision. Lulu is going to go up, put some vision. Golden features, doing his best to not let Gmeow take control over the area. However, they do have 4 up. Mundo is going to recall.
Yeah, starting to see some item spikes come through as well. Obviously Neela with the 3 items hasn't opted to go for LDR third, which she doesn't need to be honest, because she just gets so much armor penetration with her Q passive, which gives her armor penetration based on crit chance. So the 3 items, she'll have plenty of armor pen on its own. As you can see, the Orianna Nocturne combo, when done correctly, is just unflashable. But Anivia is just tanky enough to survive regardless. The Jarvan Cataclysm coming through. Tezza Boy is just stuck inside of it. And Nami goes down as well. This could be a Baron for Old and Washed.
It could indeed, as yes, the Nocturne and Nami are down, and they are thinking the same thing you are, Wrangel, as they do get onto this Baron.
Yeah, the Aphelios guns aren't the greatest for this, but it doesn't matter. 2 dead on the side, and one of those being the jungler, so this is going to be a big gold swing in the favour of Old and Washed.
Sweet, sorry team, I'm just trying to fix, I think my upload speed is going to shit a bit. Alright, it's fixed. Alright, sweet. Okay, it should be fixed. Let me know in the chat if it is still lagging a little bit. It looks like my um, bitrate is gone back up, so I'm hoping there's no buffering or anything. It looks all good on my end now. So yeah, just let me know if it's still looking bad. Apologies, what have I missed, guys?
So the Nocturne and Ori committed to Anivia on the side lane, but she managed to just live through it with her tankiness, and then Tezaboy and Nami went down as a result. So they were Old and Wash were able to pick up the Baron, and now they're in a great spot heading into the rest of this game.
Yeah, they've really taken the momentum. It still is pretty even on the gold. It might just come down to a bit of an elder flip if they are able to extend this one out, but yeah, it just looks like to me that Galaxy is just in a rough position where he wants to be the carry, but doesn't exactly have the right pick for it.
Now it's been a very tall task for him to get inside these team fights between the Anivia and also the Mordekaiser, who's just going to ult you the moment you go in and take you out of the team fight.
Exactly, and you can't really cleanse your way out of the Mortal anymore. So yeah, it was a really nice counter pick in terms of these team fights. But yeah, they are going to be barreling down. They do have quite a nice siege. They have sent Govos and Meatbun into the side lane, so they're essentially just letting this one out. As the Cataclysm does come in under tower, Tezza comes in on the back line. The Nami does go down. They are going to chase Deck onto Tezza Boy. There's a 1v1 going up above between Griff and Galaxy. Galaxy does have the Gravitum on him. Meatbun is joining the fight late. If this goes bad, it could be 1-0 to Old and Wash right here, as all the members of Gmeow are showing up a little bit late. Meatbun getting headed onto. Oh, a nice wall forces Meatbun to flash, and they're still going. They've trapped Tezaboy in the realm, and Abe gets caught by the shockwave, but it does not enough damage. You Can Dream is on a killing spree in the base. This Mordekaiser is bringing people into the realm, and he is dominating them. Griff looking for the angle under the tower. This might just be game one going down, unless this Mundo can do anything about it. Govos looking for some damage on the backline. They're just focusing the Nexus. They're heading on the backline. Abe is getting it done. Oh, it looks like they're gonna pick up the game one. What a crazy ending. I hope you guys caught all of that and there was no lag. But yeah, what a crazy end to game one.
Yeah, very decisive from Old and Wash. You can see the Mundo and the Oriana just on the tier 2s in top and bot respectively. Lots of teams would panic in that situation and send people to recall and go answer the side lanes, but they say no, we have Baron buff, and they just completely commit, diving past the mid tier 3 onto Tezaboy, Galaxy and Nami, and end up taking the game off a result.
Yeah, absolute scenes here on the Rift, to be honest. Jeez, how did that even happen? It was just a really nice early game from Old and Washed, transferred into a really nice sort of mid game from Gmeow, and then Old and Washed just found a couple good fights, really abused that Galaxy Neela, and then just ran away with the game.
Yeah, that was a very close game one. I can't wait for what the rest of this series has in store for us.
Absolutely, absolutely, and yeah, apologies obviously to everyone for the stream issues. It was not my fault. For some reason, Microsoft Teams started using up 50% of my memory, so that was happening. But now it's apparently fixed. But yeah, any takeaways coming into game two in terms of draft? What do you want to see from Gmeow coming into the second game, Wrangel?
Yeah, I want to see Tezza on something with a bit more early agency. Obviously, the Nocturne can't get a lot done before level 6. His Pantheon is really good. I'm not sure if that was banned in game 1,
Yeah,
but
it
if it
was.
is,
Wukong Pantheon were two of the first bans for that game one.
yeah, okay. So no surprises that he's eating bans. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of leaves them with limited options now that the Aphelios is gone. for Galaxy as well, because I think that's just by far his best champion. He's a lot weaker when off the Aphelios, in my opinion. So we'll have to see what the bot lane of Gmeow can cook up with the Aphelios gone. As you can see, the Nyla didn't really get the job done. I've seen him on things such as the Xayah and the Yanara as well. So maybe they could go for something with the Yanara in game two.
Yeah. Obviously, sorry for the stream issues in game one. It has been solved. Thank you for sticking with us anyway. We have fixed the issue. It seems we have fixed the issue. Potentially, hopefully.
Right, we'll keep an eye on it.
We'll
See how we go.
If anything else goes awry, we will just chuck Jacob on the duty.
Yeah, I have set it up. I'm on standby. I don't quite have Grunky's graphics, but if needed,
It should be sweet. It should be sweet. I found the problem. The stream was running at down the bottom. I was on a 1 bar for some reason. And it was red and flashing red. So whatever I did fixed it. And so yeah, no issues for game 2. It looks like we are going to be heading into draft for this game 3. Let me just find this drafter again, and we can open that one up and get into the draft for game 2. I wonder if it's going to be the same sides or if they've opted to jump on a different side. We will see. So looks like it will be same sides. Will be red side for Govos and the crew, whereas it will now also be first pick again for Old and Washed. They had made pretty good use of that first pick last time around, so let's see what else they have up their sleeve for this one, because I was pretty impressed, and I think the game showed that it was a really good call to go for that early pick of the Aphelios. It really shut things down for for Gmeow rather.
Yeah, and it's obviously a great denial pick away from Galaxy. With the first 3 bans likely going to be Pantheon, Wukong, and Zed, I really want to see Govos have the confidence to pick Akali here. Because he's obviously pretty renowned for being more of an assassin type player. Also, the Yone is open for Govos as well if they decide to commit those 3 bans again as well. But I really want to see him on one of his signature champions. I don't exactly think he's known for his Orianna. Despite Nocturne Orianna being such a potent combo, he's more of a melee player in my opinion, and I really want to see him on one of those champions.
Absolutely, he did play a really nice Cassiopeia the other day. So if Old and Wash do go for this sort of intense team fighting style, Cass can be a nice option. Maybe Griff is going to go for an early Rise or something. That's where you can ultimately get that Cassiopeia pick into an extremely nice lane. So let's just see where that goes to. Sorry, the draft. But it will be an Ashe first pick. Obviously, a really nice first pick at the moment. Answered by a Xin Zhao. Tezza can make use of a good Xin Zhao. Will be interesting pardon me, to see if they grab the Seraphine, though, to take that away from the Ashe.
Yeah, I was going to say. Surely Ashe Seraphine. Right? Classic. There's that Yanara you were talking about, though.
Yeah, and that is a classic answer to the Ashe. The Yanara it does match up pretty well into the Ashe. Once Yanara hits level 6, it is very scary for the Ashe because you can just get run down if the Yanara gets any sort of uptime on you at all.
But the Lulu and the Nami are gone. So what do you really pair this Yanara up with now?
So Yanara Nico is a pretty common pairing that I see in the LPL quite a lot. You could also just opt to counter the Ashe Seraphine ultimates and opt for something like the Milio as well, which matches up very well into those. So you'd be looking at a Nico or a Milio in my opinion.
Yeah, the Braum to pair up with the Ashe, so these guys are going to have a very strong level 1. Didn't opt for the Seraphine, which is interesting, but I do like this Braum lane with the Ashe as well.
Yeah, the Braum blind is really interesting to me because it can get punished quite hard by the range supports. I would have preferred to see the Seraphine. Obviously, it's just such a potent combo, getting picked all the time in LCK right now. But this Yanara is going to be forced to take cleanse into Ashe Braum, no doubt.
A lot of ice coming out again for Golden Wash.
Chat is saying you're buffering again, by the way.
Yeah, let me not too sure what is making it lag now. It's very unfortunate. We might have to switch over to Jacob. Yeah, weird. It's just like, maybe they're doing some internet work or whatever. Who knows? Because my computer's running completely fine. So it's just purely an internet thing right now. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It might be best to swap over to Jacob just for quality purposes.
No,
In that
definitely.
case.
Alright.
Yeah. How do I do that though? Or do I just use the same key?
Yeah, the same stream key. Maybe we'll
Same
just
key?
try
Okay.
and let me see if it's well, I just closed Google Chrome and it's gone back up to normal, so I think my internet is very much just yeah, it's just very nervous right now. So maybe if you stream the draft on
Yeah,
Discord,
oh good. Let me just
that might
find
be
where
working
the
because it's
key
fine.
was.
It's fine, but I think my Google Chrome is kind of cooking out a little bit, unfortunately. Oh, and it's gone back down again, so maybe it isn't. Yeah, not too sure what's going on with my internet. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. I'll just take it up if you'd like.
Will we be?
All good.
On
I'll see if I can
Discord?
pull them up. If I can pull them up, I will.
Yeah, you might be able to just drag and drop them over
Yeah.
potentially. See how it goes.
We will see.
So are we off air now?
Yeah.
Give me a second. No, we're on air now. Yes, we're good to go. I did it. I did it. Welcome back, everybody. It is great to be back. If I have messed up any of the sound settings, please let me know. But it looks like we are getting the Vex from Griff. That should be fun.
Damn, that's a big pick right there. Griff has put a lot of hours into Vex, and it definitely looks like a nice Vex game as well. Obviously, apart from the Xin Zhao, it's quite nice into the Vex, and there's not too many dashes. But we are getting a Govos Rise, interestingly enough.
Yeah, and as I was alluding to earlier on in the draft, the blind Braum just doesn't feel great. They did have the option to pick the Seraphine, so I wonder what the thought process was from Oldham Wash, because Gmeow responded with a Milio, which is going to have immense value with the ultimate versus Ash and Braum.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just such a tried and true lane, the Ashe and the Seraphine. Why would you even try and falter from that? Not only did they not take the Seraphine away from you in the bot lane, but you were sort of given up. Yeah, sort of given it up.
Yeah, Braum definitely not a great blind pick, just because of how vulnerable it is to being counterpicked. It's definitely more of a punishing pick for enemies locking engaged supports. Not really something you want to opt into blind. So I would have preferred to see the Seraphim, but we'll see what they can get done with it regardless. The top lane matchup should be pretty boring. They both should just be farming up a bunch and coming to team fights and frontlining. The
Yeah,
Jackson and Xin Zhao matchup in the jungle is not one I've seen before.
I'm not a huge fan of Jax in the jungle. It does work and it does do well into the Xin Zhao, but it doesn't have as much gold. Most of the damage, apart from obviously the Rise, who once he gets that actualizer third item, will be dealing plenty of damage, but mostly just auto attacks coming out in this early game from the side of Gmeow.
Yeah, and he may have problems getting onto people with the Milio Q in team fights. Just trying to queue at people, yeah, it might be difficult for Brayden. The Vex is something I'm very interested to see play out though, because I have not seen this in the entirety of OBL yet. It may have been picked, but I definitely haven't watched any games where it's been picked. What are your thoughts on the Vex pick, guys?
I love it. I love it, and I think it was a good proactive sort of I think it was a good proactive like pick into Govos, because now the Akali angle, the Yone angle isn't really there anymore, because you'd never want to play those picks into the Vex. So yeah, really nice blind pick, especially understanding the sort of context of Govos' champion pool. So I think it's a bit of clever drafting, but this Vex champ, in the right hands is just a menace to deal with, and can get to fights like awkwardly quick as well. Just probably the same quickness as the Rise ult. But yeah, definitely definitely a good shout.
Yeah, and we are looking to get into game now. One of the top laners just had to go to the bathroom, but that is okay, as we are in the actual champ select, and soon we'll be just waiting out that 3-minute spectator delay. Not too long before game 2 now.
Yeah, I'm not really cheering for either of these teams, but geez, I hope this goes to a game 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gmeow's been on an absolute tear. So to see them go down in two, it would really put a damper on Group C. You'd think that both KNS and Gmeow are two of the upper echelon teams, but when it comes to these playoffs, they are faltering a little bit.
Yeah, and Group C, pretty unanimously agreed to be the strongest group. So it would be a shame if Gmeow did go down 2-0. Hopefully they can bounce back in this game too.
But we saw Do Not Redeem pull off the pretty much unanimous upset in terms of what everyone who thought was gonna everyone thought KNS was gonna win, sorry, and they ended up getting 2-0'd in a pretty devastating fashion. So yeah, Do Not Redeem making it all the way to the finals despite disadvantages in a lot of the lanes.
Yeah, and being the second seed as well. Always going to be the underdog going against the first seed of KNS. So that was an incredible result for the team of Do Not Redeem. I'm sure they'll be watching this one very eagerly to see who awaits them in the finals.
Absolutely. If you're on Do Not Redeem, who do you hope goes through in this game?
Um, I think I think Entric from Do Not Redeem really wants Oldham Wash to win, because he's got a bit of a rivalry with Brayden. You can see them bickering in general chat here and there. So I think I don't know about the rest of Do Not Redeem. I can't speak for them, but I think Entric in particular really wants Oldham Wash to win, so he has a chance to go up against Brayden.
Hmm. And make sure, guys, to sign up. The 1v1 tournament is available for sign up now, so that'll be Chef's 1v1 tournament, Jumper, and then a couple of other interesting awards sprinkled out there. The MVP for Division 2 is going to be announced as well as the top 3 teams in terms of stats. So, jump in, have a good time, and watch it all unfold on the Rift this Sunday at 7 p.m. AEDT.
Will either of yourselves be participating in the 1v1 tournament?
I've actually just signed up just then, so I'm jumping in there.
That's awesome. You got any idea of the champs you'd be picking?
I'm a Renekton main at heart. That's why you'll see me pick it up in the mid lane where I can, into the sort of Yasuos, the Katarinas, the Cassidins. Any melee matchup in the mid lane, Renekton goes nicely into that, and he's also awesome on Howling Abyss. Howling Abyss 1v1 gets a couple bonus stats, so I'd definitely go for that. Otherwise, probably some cheese, maybe like a Draven or something. How about yourself?
Look, I'm considering it. I'm just trying to think of what champions I'd be able to get away with in a 1v1 tournament, because obviously I can play marksman only. I'm pretty bloody handless off of marksman. I'm thinking something like the Vayne or the Varus. There's notorious duelist marksmans. I could probably see some success on those if I participated. But it sounds fun.
Yeah,
Varus
I've
goes very hard.
never had any 1v1 experience yet. I don't think I've
Oh,
signed up though. Mostly
you
because
should.
I'm pretty sure I would get destroyed first game. I don't think I'd get very far.
It's a best of three. Each game's a best of three.
Oh,
So I reckon
geez.
you whip out the fiddlesticks and see how that rolls.
Oh yeah, but yeah, that's the only champ I feel like I have any semblance of skill expression on, which is still not much, but Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think I'd be going for the likes of Virus Vayne, maybe even an Ezreal or a Callista, if I've just had a white monster. But yeah, most of my champion pool I don't think I'd get away with.
Hopefully the
It's alright.
APM's feeling nice and good.
It would do very well into whatever I've got to bring.
Did you manage to get any of those overlay stuff?
I have
Jacob?
got the overlay stuff, yes, and I've just refreshed the
Awesome.
stream, so we're back. Should be no buffering. I got 1080p, so yeah, hopefully we're good to go.
Yeah, hopefully. Sorry about. Yeah, that's the first time my stream has ever lagged, so I will suss that out before All Stars. Not too sure what it was. Maybe the fuel crisis has affected the internet here in New Zealand.
Yeah,
Who knows?
potentially.
Who knows? Maybe my partner is torrenting multiple movies upstairs, as well as downloading new Switch games, while also playing online Mario Kart. It all could be happening upstairs, as well as she could have cat TV on a different screen for my cats as well. So you just never know what's going on upstairs.
Yeah,
So are
see,
you
I
still,
live in a single level apartment, so nothing to worry about.
are you still taking votes for any of the categories?
All the votes have been tallied, so I do know everyone that's getting an award. There are a couple special awards. So Owen 10 is actually dishing out his special award. It will be the Top Bloke Award. And then Honda Civic will also be dishing out an award, which is the Get Amongst It Award. And then I will be dishing out an award, which is the Grunky Peep Rate Yourself Award, which essentially is going to the player that rates themselves the most, you know?
Yeah, of course. And have you determined a winner for the $25 RP gift card as well?
We have rolled the random gift card, and that will be announced at the very first thing I will announce on that stream will be the gift card winner. So you can always buy your new April Fool skin. Grab the
Good
new
stuff.
Galio skin. I mean,
Oh, and
new Clone skin.
we can see the Rise is forced to burn his flash to level 1. It's a great roam mid lane from You Can Dream.
Oh, I'm a little bit behind.
I'm
I've only
preview projector on the Discord if you want to switch to that instead of going in game, because I might be a bit ahead of you due to internet.
let me get in that one. Yeah, I only just got into game then, so I've missed out on all the fun activities.
No first bloods yet. Just 1 minute's gone by.
Well, and getting the flash away from the Rise, Griff is going to like this a lot, because he's going to be punishing him heavily. And look at that level 1 trade, gets the Electrocute proc off, a little bit coming back the way as well. I do know Govos enjoys going for the Comet Rise, especially into these sort of shorter range matchups.
Yeah, Govos actually took, when we versed Govos Rise, he actually took Electrocute Ignite into Junie, so he might be a bit more respectful of Griff opting for the Ghost Comet setup.
Yeah, he ran Comet into my Ziggs, and it was a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, maybe he respects you more. I know into some of these weaker mid laners he does opt for a more aggressive setup.
Yeah, definitely. I was getting absolutely. I mean, the laning versus Govos was fun, apart from the fact that Tezza would always show up at the worst time.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah.
just gonna do that again. Hopefully
Every
this
30
game.
seconds, essentially. But yeah, just a classic Scion on top lane. Not much to it, just a couple smacking around. Some good percentage damage on the W of the Scion, so he does get some good trades off of it. He is able to time that correctly. But apart from that, it's sort of, yeah, just swang and bang, really.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens on this bot scuttle because it looks like both junglers are going to be opting into it. You see the Jax, he might be attempting to catch out this Ryze who did burn the flash. Looks like Ryze is face checking the Jax, and this Ryze has no flash.
Ghost is going to get him away from it a little bit. Tezza is able to try and contest. But yeah, this Jax is only level 3. He has opted to skip his bottom camps in order to try and get a double scuttle potentially. But that won't pay off in terms of his camps resetting and getting extra XP off of those camps later on in the game.
Yeah, so his sequencing is going to be off now, given that he wasn't able to clear his Krug. So they're still going to be level 1 on his next reset. So he's going to have to sort that out at some stage. Getting chased off the bottom scuttle as well is pretty detrimental to the Jax, as he looks at Rise again by the looks of it. Again, this Rise has no flash. Griff does. This could be a kill coming
A good angle. Nice flash counter-strike. First blood to Griff. That's exactly what you want to see in this early game for Old Wash.
Yeah, beautiful pathing by Brayden early after the scuttle grab. Exploits the Rise with no flash. And this is a big early lead for Griff, who didn't even have to burn any summoners for that. So that's going to feel great for the side of Old and Wash.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
gonna start accelerating that Vex beyond what Gmeow would have hoped for.
Yeah, quite a big CS lead as well as the kill. She's going to have a lost chapter almost certainly on this recall. So she's going to have lots of pushing power. Should be able to secure the priority in that lane for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and Govos has gone for the boots early, which it's pretty much impossible, in my opinion, to dodge Vex's abilities. But it looks like a nice trade coming down. Abe is able to get a kill onto Fluff, so... And, you know, this lane, with Bard lane, with the concussive strikes, is really, really powerful.
Yeah, you were saying that Braum might struggle a little bit. It's not looking that way so far. Golden Features just put the door up and pretty much walked forward while Abe free-fired behind him without a fear, and they end up getting Flupiso. Flash out and everything, but doesn't make it.
Obviously, a long lane is a nightmare versus Ashe Braum, because they have the entire lane to just run you down with slows. So although the Yunara was able to get the priority, they got engaged on and ended up getting punished for it. Still a CS lead for the Yunara, so she won't be feeling too bad about that one. She should still have a decent recall here, despite the fact that Flufiso went down.
Yeah, it's, you know, up about sort of 10, 15 farm on the Yunara. But yeah, obviously that kill offsets that completely.
Opting for a Cull and a Retrix back, which feels really, really good early on Yunara. Yunara actually has a pretty unique interaction with the Cull, where, you know, the passive where you get 3 health per hit?
Yep.
That actually applies to every target you hit with your Q. So
Oh,
if you're hitting 3 targets, you're healing for 9 per hit, which can really add up in some of the skirmishes, or even just a bit of sustain when you're pressing Q on the waves. So Cull feels really good on that champion. We see potential fight happening in the river at the moment. Looks like Jax wants to contest this Scuttle Crab. Did Tezza get chased out? Or no, it looks like Tezza did get the crab.
his has been pretty on point with his smite so far, so 50-50s is not something you want to engage with Old and Wash, but looks like they're going to help Griff shove out this mid lane and potentially invade this top side. This Jax is looking to stay on Tez's ass right now.
Yeah, Brayden doing his best to really give Tezza hell early game. Definitely achieved it last time, just couldn't quite keep it up.
Oh, but here's the ult from the Vex. Jumps onto the Rise in the back lane, but Tezza is doing heaps of damage early game. Griff is going to have to blow his flash. Does Tezza get the... Oh, Gomez is going huge in there. And there's a nice double play from the mid laners. But unfortunately, Govos and Tezza Boy come out on top. This Xin Zhao is a bit of an issue right now.
Yeah, but I looked at this matchup on paper. It did look like the Jax Vex 2v2 would be a bit weak, bit weaker than the Xin Rise, as we can see there. The all-in 2v2 does go the way of Gmeow. The Xin Zhao is just so potent in these early skirmishes.
Yeah, and just chucking down that Rune Prism makes it so easy to hit the Xin Zhao W, which is pretty much half of what you need to do on Xin Zhao to win a big trade. The Jax, you know, once the Counter-Strike is down, doesn't have too much going for him, especially in this early game. Pre-Triforce, pre-Sundered Sky. So yeah, definitely a bit of an ill-advised pick there for the Jax.
Yeah, and it feels pretty bad for the bot lane of Gmeow. Having the double ranged into melee matchup and getting shoved in. You definitely want to be doing the opposite and shoving your opponents in. So, Odd and Wash bot lane kind of going against the script here.
Yeah, I do feel like the Braum can be quite powerful with the Ashe early game though. As soon as you sort of get any semblance of a push going, you can get quite scared trying to push back without obviously using that Melio to buff you up and to get a little bit of extra range. You know, one Braum Q could be a flash, you know, especially if Galaxy doesn't want to commit the ults to get that dash off.
Gonna meet up in the jungle again, as we see Brayden back up in Tez's jungle. Whole team's up there, as Abe and Golden Feet is also gonna come in. Rise is rotating through. And the map is focusing on the top laners, but there's 8 players currently in the top quadrant right now.
I do like how... Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so they're able to steal away the blue buff, as you can see. The Rise...
Nice engage, a nice 3-man fear, and they are absolutely wiping the floor with Gmeow right now, and that's why you give Griff the Vex pick. What an awesome chain CC onto those 3, and it's always like a pick. Sort of a picking champ with this Vex, but as soon as you get that fair off pairing up with that, you know, you get some big CC chains. And a nice buffer in the top lane from You Can Dream, as they just sort of trade ults back and forth just to, you know, just to show us casters that there is stuff happening in the top lane.
Yeah, there is indeed.
The auto spectate didn't do a great job of showing it, but the Rise was actually completely separated from his team. It was him and then 4 members of Old and Wash separating him from his team. So they were able to steal the blue buff away from Tezzaboy and then get what was a 4v3.
Did result in first Drake going over to Old and Wash as well too. With the Wind Drake. Tez is going to try to respond potentially by looking for grubs, but Brayden is pathing up there as well too. Gets a scuttle, so he's going to know he's there, and I think we might get a repeat.
Yeah, and Brayden is definitely not dissuaded from going for these fights at the moment, which I do respect, even after the early blunder. Has full confidence in himself to go and take these fights. And that might just be grubs as well over to Old and Wash.
These grubs, you can't contest them on the side of Gmeow with your support not opting to move. So there's going to be 3 grubs going over to Old and Wash. They haven't really got any champions. They're going to be hitting towers. Maybe Silent in the side lane can get something done, but this shouldn't be too big of a deal.
Yeah, and unfortunately Gmeow have opted for, you know, the short range comp as Tez is trying to find something, gets hit by the Ash Arrow, and is just going to go down, invading. So that is maybe 3 mini Raptors for his life. Not a great trade.
Yeah, what a great raid from Brayden. You can see he's still got his top camps up, but he reads the fact that Tezzaboy is going to want to punish the fact that he can't contest the grubs and opt for Brayden's bot side, but he just right-clicks right to his Raptors, brings his team along with him and punishes Tezzaboy.
Yeah, and all the gold currently is on Tezzaboy, so even if it's just sort of punishing his invades and making sure that he's not doing anything with that gold advantage is going to pay dividends for Old and Washed.
Yeah, quite a gold advantage as well right now for Abe. About 800.
Has the Yunara not finished her bot lane quest? That might be what's causing the difference at the moment.
Potentially.
Well, I don't think the Ashe has finished it yet because she's still got boots in her inventory.
Yeah, so it's just a flat 800 gold lead for the Ashe.
Yeah, I mean, Taz got the 1 kill and 3 assists, also was a part of that first dragon, so I can't see the plates right now, but they might have also picked up a couple extra plates. But that's definitely where you want to be, and this is a good game for the Ashe, you know. There's no long-range threats on the side of Gmeow. You know, the Rise has to get up quite close. Typically, the Yunara will have quite low attack range, apart from when she gets Melio W'd. But, you know, it's where you want to be for the Ashe. You can kite these out. You can use your range to your advantage because, you know, your auto attacks are getting slow. And just applying that to multiple different people because there's no Caitlyn, there's no Victor, there's none of these sort of champs that can hit you from out of range.
Yeah, Ashe really does excel into these short-range champions, so she's going to be feeling great about herself. This Yunara hasn't even been able to afford a Kraken Slayer yet, so she's pretty considerably behind the Ashe.
Yeah, the Cull not quite doing what it's meant to do. Not giving Yunara a gold lead at all. Brayden's coming back into Tez's jungle, along with Golden Features.
I think this is a really nice play, you know, send the Braum up here with the Jax and just keep invading over and over and over. Put Tezza on tilt, you know, wants to be the carry. It looks like Abe might be getting dove on here. Does get out of there with the Ash Arrow. Cleansed by Galaxy. So a little bit of pressure back, but, you know, this Ash is already ahead. It doesn't matter too much if she's losing a couple CS here and there to the tower. Oh, Griff is DC'd. I was wondering. I was like,
yeah.
oh, he's might be checking chat or might be looking at Uber Eats order or something. But
looking a bit lost
he is
there.
DC'd.
It's alright. Wi-Fi issues all around. It's not just you, Grunky. There's something in the air, you know. Maybe the sharks are eating the underground cables again in the ocean.
That does happen quite regularly. You'd be surprised.
I've heard, especially New Zealand, very subject to sharks eating internet cables.
How's the internet over in New Zealand? Because in Australia, it's notoriously bad.
I actually think it's better than over there. Like I usually get maybe like 20 to 30 ping.
Yeah, we have worse internet than some third world countries do.
Yeah, my mate who lives in Sydney definitely lags quite regularly when we're playing with him.
You gotta get a building with fiber, not NBN. It's NBN that's bad.
Yeah, we've got fiber pretty much everywhere here.
Yeah. In New Zealand, it's unheard of to not get fiber.
Yeah, quite a few areas in Australia still haven't got it yet. We're quite behind.
Yes, indeed. I'm fortunate to have fiber.
We have the ceremonial post-pause lag coming out as well, but
pretty short that time actually.
Yeah, unfortunately Griff did have to blow the flash there after he lagged. So that's unfortunate. Oh, looks like the B will be getting cancelled from You Can Dream. Meat Bun is whacking onto him. I've been quite impressed with this top laner, You Can Dream. You know, he's performing really well into Meat Bun, who is a Diamond 3 player, while You Can Dream is Emerald.
Yeah, Meat Bun's no slouch. I would have expected Meat Bun to get the better of You Can Dream here, but he's punching well above his weight.
But as we all know, as OBL players, ranks can be deceptive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
But just
really, I did flash out there.
Surprised they didn't handshake. They didn't handshake Heartsteel and just grab that for each other.
Yeah, it would have been a perfect matchup for it.
Absolutely. I think even the Scion would have been pretty pleased with that because, you know, the longer this goes... Oh, it looks like a fight is brewing in the bot lane. Tezza popping that ult early. It is lagging a little bit as Galaxy goes down to Golden Features and then Tezza goes down as well. This Jax is running over everyone. Griff pops the ult and gets onto Govos. No summon is available and he goes down as well. Wow, this is all turning to shit for Gmeow. Mind my language, but that's probably how you're feeling if you are on the red team right now.
Yeah, all going wrong for Gmeow. Contesting the second dragon. The game's getting very dire for them now.
Yeah, I reckon those question mark things were Tezza from the grave around the dragon.
Yeah, they could be. He is known for getting pretty tilted in situations like this, so it wouldn't surprise me.
They're definitely on the back foot here. Only 2 kills are onto Tezza, so that gold really is, you know, not being put to good use right now because I think they're just going for a couple sloppy positions there. They weren't able to pull off a nice front to back at all. They were able to, like, the Jax was able to just sort of jump around and jump on whatever targets he wanted to in that team fight. But yeah, this Jax pick looking really good right now.
Yeah, and he was even able to get a few stacks of his Dark Seal in that team fight. And that champion actually has some pretty nice AP scaling, so he'll be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, there was that phase where the Dusk and Dawn Jax was just absolutely shredding. As he is making his way into the bot lane right now, will he be able to get this kill onto Fluffy? So he will rampage for Brayden. And the Abe Flash goes onto Galaxy and picks up a kill as well. These guys are playing with full confidence right now. And I think they might just run over this game. What can Gmeow do to stop the bleeding?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they can do a lot. And that's just the threat of
an
being
arrow
in the long lane.
onto Tezza Boy. He's going to get caught. Griff is going to pick up the kill, and he's on a killing spree as well.
The teleport from Meat Bun.
Not at all what you want to see. And
What a beautiful cross-map snipe by Abe there.
Yeah, an awesome ult coming down from the bot lane. And they're just picking up objectives left and right. First 2 dragons, first 3 grubs, and now the Rift Herald for Old and Washed.
Yeah, they're really starting to run away with it. Ryze could be in trouble as well. As you can see that Ashe is walking up the river. Ryze should be able to just... No, he's going to get flashed on by the Braum. And the counter strike from the Jax right on top of him results in another kill for Old and Washed. They're really running away with this game.
All 3 carries are on a killing spree right now. And that is not what you want at all. The gold lead is blooming to 6k pre 20 minutes. You know, it is looking absolutely dire as this Jax is only going to get stronger. And there's definitely not enough time for this Ryze to pick up a bit of pace. As I do say that Burden does take a heap of damage, but the Grandmaster's Might is going to get him out of there. Bonus resistances are going to help him out in that situation. And a Sundered Sky, I'm sure, is on the way on this next B.
Yeah, you can see there's some pretty huge shutdowns on Old and Washed. So if Gmeow can get a team fight to go their way, will result in quite a big gold swing. But I just can't see how they're going to do it. The side of Old and Washed, they're just getting too strong. They're just going to be slapping Gmeow with their wallets.
None of the carries for Gmeow have actually got any upgraded items on Ornn yet either.
And none of them have hit any notable item spikes as well, where you can see the Kraken PD on the Ashe, the Shadow Flame Ludens on the Vex, the Triforce Sundered on the Jax. Whereas literally everyone on the side of Gmeow is sitting on 1 item only, so they're so much weaker right now.
1v1 might be happening in the spot lane. Does get hit by the Vex though, and just pops.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That hitbox looked pretty generous to me, but
yeah, absolutely.
Gets the snipe regardless, and that's another kill going to the way of Old and Washed. I wonder if Griff should buy a Medjay's here. He's popping off.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think the big diff right now is the confidence, and I think you can see that pretty loud and clear. Tezza probably would typically buy a Dark Seal on the Xin Zhao. That's a little bit of the meta right now. Whereas the Jax just bought one straight up, said, you know what, let's go. Let's like build this thing up. And yeah, I think that's just a nice reflection of the confidence between these two teams right now. Gmeow is feeling a little bit more conscious of the pressure of the situation, whereas Old and Wash are just playing it as any other game.
Yeah, and they're playing it very well as got the next Mountain Drake, well, first Mountain Drake, third Drake total up in a minute, and this could be sole point for Old and Wash if they get it.
You're just gonna have to give this on the side of Gmeow. Really just try and scramble and hit 3 items before Soul. There's absolutely no chance of fighting this next one.
Yeah, and if they pick up both of these Earth Drakes in a row, the side of Old and Washed, who is going to kill the Scion? I don't think anyone can.
No one's killing that Scion.
And that unending despair value is going to be insane. Oh, an ult pick coming onto Flippy, so can they catch him under tower? Griff just one-hits him. What a play. And now Meat Bun is caught out a little bit here. He is able to tank it out. That Vex ult follow-up does miss, but Meat Bun is tanking a lot of hits right here. Is he able to squeeze out? He is. Govos does press the ghost button, but nothing to it. They are lucky to just lose one there, but You Can Dream is probably just dreaming of going in 1v5 here. Oh, nice Ashe arrow onto Tezza. The fight is continued. A beautiful engage. Good knock up onto 4. They are able to catch it, but the Jax on the backline is going huge. And none of the damage dealers are able to get there. The shutdown goes onto the side of Govos. So there is a little bit of a glimmer of a hope. This Ryze does want some kills. He wants the actualizer, and maybe then he can carry. But 16-3 is almost an insurmountable lead.
Yeah, you can see the Sion's getting run down though by the Inara. Looks like he's going to be just fine.
Govos is feeling himself.
Going.
Another shutdown onto the Ryze. Does Govos take this into his own hands and pull off the comeback? I'm not too sure it's possible, but anything can happen here in OBL.
If you're Gmeow, you need to get this dragon right now. This will stop the Soul win con for another 10 minutes for Old and Wash. And give them an objective bounty, so it's really important. You can see Tez is running over in that direction. He is starting his Wolves. Doesn't seem like they're going to start it up before Old and Wash gets there.
And he has opted for the Rabadons on this Ryze, so a bit more glass cannon. does work out pretty well in the end, but isn't able to do much if he gets hit by a Vexalt, if he gets hit by an Ash Arrow. So let's just hope he's able to get some fancy feet down. We'll pick up the blue buff before this dragon.
He has recognized that he's got to carry this game. You can't do that with a defensive.
The ult on the Tether Boy is about to get absolutely eliminated despite the Crescent Sweep. And Meat Bun is in the backline, but he's just getting munched down by this Ash, and 2 picks onto Old and Washed. Damn, there was a glimmer of hope, but Old and Washed are turning the lights out.
Yeah, Meat Bun looking like a burger for Old and Washed as they do take him down.
I gotta run right over to this Baron, and there's actually no chance of a contest here.
18-4. Don't I say this very lightly, but it is only a 5k gold lead, despite the item. Despite the objective and sort of state of the map. It's only one like first tower has gone down for the side of Gmeow, so this is almost like a perfect situation right now.
Yeah, still 3 tier 2s left on the map for Old and Washed. So lots of standing gold for them to collect. Yeah, this Baron is gonna be really brutal for Gmeow.
And this is a scary situation for the Rise. He does want to be sitting in this side lane, soaking up a bit of XP, soaking up a bit of gold. But if an arrow just comes wayward at you and picks you off, that's game over.
Yeah, the Govos is on Rise is so important right now. How he plays the next few skirmishes is going to pretty much decide whether or not this game is over in 10 minutes or goes on longer.
Yeah, but he hasn't been able to scramble enough gold for the Rabadon's death cap, so he's going to be hitting like a wet noodle against the likes of the front line of Old and Washed.
Yeah, he does definitely do some nice damage to Griff and to Abe if he can get to them, but there's a Braum in the way, and there's an even bigger Scion, and Fluffyso's just going to get absolutely annihilated. Once again, does get out by the skin of her teeth, as the Xin Zhao is in the backline, might go down the shutdown onto the Yunara. That's what you want to see, and this Meat Bun is really big right now. The Yunara is whacking away, and the counter-strike comes in, gets dodged out, and it looks like Braden is going down. The Ash is heading, and another shutdown onto the Rise. What a huge team fight for Gmeow. Baron aside, the Scion is going to be split pushing in the top lane, but I think that was a 5v5 angle for Old and Washed, and they could have ended just there if they were able to pick up a good team fight. But they sold it. They had a little bit too much confidence in themselves, and now the Scion might be going down as well.
And this Scion did have teleport and ult for that, so you're going to wonder why he decided not to join that fight. Maybe he thought his team could win 4v5, but that just wasn't the case. And this is just so much gold going back into the hands of Gmeow, so really big mistake from them.
It's another 300 gold shutdown. Is able to get the
there
flash
he goes.
And the unstoppable onslaught away. Screaming cowards, and he's running away.
Good escape, but a big gold swing back into the hands of Gmeow, and they honestly hold off this Baron push as a result of that.
Now the Yunara is looking a little bit more scary for the side of Gmeow. Was able to whack away in that whole team fight. Probably got off a good 20 or so auto attacks off there.
Yeah,
didn't actually take an inhibitor either for Old and Washed.
Yeah, you can see she was able to cut through the Jax without an LDR, and once she completes that, she's going to be such a big damage threat.
And that all started a bit off a Griff overextend as well too. Just right on the turret. And got the arm guard, but got popped by the Rise after that.
Yeah, he thought he could assassinate the Milio, but I guess he miscalculated the damage.
He had just done it in the previous fight for an awesome pick, so he thought, if it worked last time, surely it's going to work this time, but Fluffy's so a little bit more wise to it. And so now the game is spicing up a little bit. The gold lead hasn't bloomed at all since that Baron, which means that the bleeding has been stemmed a little bit from the side of Gmeow.
Yeah, I was going to say there's some interesting gold discrepancy though, with Govos over 2k ahead. Scion over 2k ahead. BRDN 2k ahead. ADCs are even, and support, who cares?
The Rise is definitely scaling. He's got a good amount of CS for this time in the game, got about 10 CS per minute there. Is going for the Void Staff as well next. So yeah, Glass Cannon Rise coming through will be either feast or famine in these next couple fights, I think. We'll either die one hit or we'll one hit everyone. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage onto the Jax. He's going to have to flash away and use his ulti for a little bit of extra stats. Teza is looking for a fight, but the Silent is here for this one now. Unstoppable Onslaught is going to come out. Nothing to it as well. A little bit of desperation being shown as the Ornhorn is called. A nice double pickup onto that one. The Realm Warp is coming out on the bottom side. Griff might follow this one up. An awesome fair onto the backline. Galaxy is getting really low on this backside. But look, Teza is going in. He's 2 and 7, but he wants a piece of the cake. Govos is heading on the backline. Meatbun is doing the same thing. They are going to get through the Scion a little bit quicker than the Ornn, but Govos is looking for more. The Blue Man is running forward. Does he get stunned out? A perfect flash to dodge the counter-strike. Govos is having a generational game. Does he get onto the Ashe here? No Ghost available. Is going to get slowed up to the side. And wow, what another huge fight from Gmeow. That could have gone either way in that one there, lads.
Yeah, what a team fight from Gmeow. This is going to result in them getting the 4th dragon, denying the soul from Old and Washed, and all but equalizing this gold lead. This Rise is such a big problem. Somehow, despite the Vex being on 7 kills, he's up about 3,000 gold on this Vex. He's hit his critical mass, and he's a massive threat. This Yunara has nearly completed his LDR as well, and the Gmeow have an Enchanter, which typically scales much better than the Braum, so we're in for a really good game here now.
Yeah, I mean, from the brink of defeat, these guys have shown their mental to be quite strong, and I think if Gmeow is able to pick this one up, that is a huge confidence booster going into the game 3.
How about that Ornn in the backline of Old and Washed?
That's what I was going to say.
1v3, just completely unkillable, and actually forcing them to run away on his own, essentially.
It was like a perfectly mirrored fight, you know. You Can Dream was in the middle of Gmeow, and Meatbun was in the middle of Old and Washed. And, you know, the Ornn was just a lot stronger somehow. I think it's mainly because there's just no tank cut on the side of Old and Washed.
Yeah, you can see there was
LDR is not on Ashe.
Yeah, no Last Whisper on the Ashe in that fight. She has wised up and purchased that now, so the Ornn should go down a bit quicker if Ashe free hits.
Got another Griff DC.
Ooh, unfortunate for Griff. But yeah, Griff can pop either the Yunara or the Milio, nothing else. It might even come down to, a nice pick onto Govos on the side, and just as I was singing his praises, he gets caught out by the Vex on the backline. Is he able to get out?
Ooh.
Oh my god, he's getting flashed on by the Ashe. He gets away.
Wow.
What an escape from
What an
Govos.
insane Realm Warp.
And
That was crazy.
That cost Old and Washed 2 flashes. Both the bot lane is committing their flash to that. Rise didn't lose anything except for his ult, which is it's rank 3, so he's gonna have that up relatively shortly. You can see it's already a quarter of the way back.
And the Ashe used flash as well, which is pretty devastating in terms of this next fight.
Yeah, huge summoner spell advantage for Gmeow in the next fight. You can see they've got 3 flashes as opposed to just the 1 on the Scion for Old and Washed. So this next team fight should be favorable for Gmeow.
LDR on both ADCs, so both of these tanks are going to go down a lot quicker, but it will be who can go down slower between the two, who I think is going to really be frustrating to deal with. And this Jax is just not in a great spot, you know, he's not playing top lane Jax, so he can't just jump up in a side lane and whack away at these towers. He is pretty much just a stun bot at this point.
Yeah, and he's not going to get the level. He's not going to get the top lane quest to benefit off the levels. Level 20 Jax definitely would be very scary right now, but it's just not the case from the jungle Jax. You can see this gold lead. This gold is dead even, so the gold lead is just no longer a factor. And the power of the Ornn passive is starting to come through as well, with everyone receiving their ornaments.
Yep, we are looking like a Christmas tree now for Gmeow with the ornaments.
Now we're using Ashe ult to run away at this stage. That was being used as an offensive tool before.
It is wise sending the Scion into the top lane, making sure at least the side lanes are pushed out, so there is that pressure to split up this sort of snowball, this rolling boulder that is the team comp of Gmeow right now. Split them up across the map, potentially get a pick off with the Ashe ult, transitioning back to sort of group up. I think that's one of their only shots, is if they get off a great Ashe arrow on the rise. I mean, as we just saw, it didn't do much as Gobos has the fancy feet. Or even the Xin Zhao, you know, he's 2 items, doesn't have the GA yet. Is still really squishy, and they really do need that smite for these objectives.
Yeah, the Zin's very starved of gold, but he can just press ult and create space for the rest of his team. Looks like he's going to buy a Guardian Angel 3rd as well, so he's just... He understands that he's extremely behind, and that his job is just to create time and space for the rest of his team.
Yeah, and then just bonking the Vex away from the fight as well is also a really nice play for the Xin ult. And even if he's able to get one knock-up onto either the Vex or the Ashe, that is pretty much all he needs to achieve in these team fights.
Yeah, this Yunara's hit her 4-item spike, and she's got the Milio with her. Yunara Milio late game, it just sounds so incredibly strong to me.
Ashe all for a vision play though. Looks like Old and Wash are dipping their hands into the trick book and trying to find something that sticks. Potentially a bush play, or just, yeah, as I said before, catching them in transition. But at this point for the Ashe, how are you playing these team fights out, Wrangel?
You've just got to hit whatever's in front of you.
Oh, flash onto Griff. They're going on the offensive this time, looking for the engage. The Realm Walk does come out. A nice... Whoa, it's just Galaxy in that Realm Walk. That's crazy. As looks like Teza is looking onto the backside. He is going to go down eventually. The Rise is hitting so many EQs onto this backline. As Galaxy does go down, they are able to trade back the kills. Galaxy might get stunned up here, but he just annihilates that Ashe. A nice flash gets him out of position. The stopwatch from the Jack, but there's just no damage left to kill this Rise. What a hectic team fight. Both ADCs go down, but Govos remains. The blue man is on a mission right now, and he is trying to find the runes, and right now there's one inside of the Scion body. He might go down here, or gets out by the skin of his teeth. And that is another one fight for Gmeow, but only barely.
That looked like a massive blunder by Galaxy there, taking the Rise ult. That was very bold. Essentially had no impact in that team fight, but it didn't matter because Govos came up to play. Despite being surrounded by Old Wash members, he was just too tanky, and as you can see, his EQ absolutely decimates anyone he hits them with. And this is going to be the second drag going over to Gmeow.
Milio value is
yeah, the
quite
Milio
high
value
as
is
well.
bounced as well, because you can cleanse the likes of the Braum passive, the Vex Sphere, even the Ashe ult, obviously. So yeah, Gmeow should be looking over to this Baron now.
Yeah, and the Vex does sort of fall off later into the game, as a lot of her kit revolves around following up and getting resets off of the ult. But you don't really want to be diving into this team comp right now, unless you're diving onto the Rise. You're just going to get absolutely one-shot. They are testing the waters with this Baron. They do take it quite quickly with the Ashe hitting away at it. Are they able to get it down? You Can Dream is holding bodyguard duty right now. Tesla's going to go in. He's got the GA. A nice knockup from Meatbun on the side. It is just tanks v tanks. Galaxy is free hitting on the backline, and so is Govos. This Vex is going down awkwardly quickly, as well as the Ashe flashes over the wall to no avail, and that's a quadra kill. Is it going to be the pentakill for the Yunara? No, it is not. They are turning their sights onto the mid lane, and this is going to cap off an incredible comeback from Gmeow. We are hearing silver scrapes as we are going to go to game 3.
Yeah, what an incredible comeback from Gmeow. You can see, Yunara did get a quadra kill, but the discipline to go for the Nexus. Gmeow really want to just set their sights on winning. If that was me, I'd absolutely be going for the pentakill.
I reckon you gotta do it. You gotta go for the pentakill. But they might even get it. It's long timers. If they just whack this Scion down here, she might even get the delayed penta. But Govos takes it.
Wow.
GG, what a comeback for Gmeow. And we're set for game 3, lads. We did not see that one coming.
What a
We
series
did not see
had.
that coming.
2 awesome games in a row, back to back. Lots of back and forths, but this one was a monumental swing when it comes to comebacks. I think the score was roughly like 2 kills to 14 at one point.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty dire.
they were down about 5,000 gold and facing down a soul win con um for Old and Washed. I think the crucial moment where it all went wrong was when Cyan decided to split push top with ultimate and teleport up. He could have used either of them to join the fight, opted not to, and Gmeow just were able to collect all of the bounties from Old and Washed, and that was really the catalyst of the win for them.
Yeah, and I mean, they've had first pick both times. It's the success has been not optimal in the second series. Obviously, they got the Aphelios in the first game. Um, do we think we stay on the same sides for the third game?
Um, I know in pro play that blue side just has a way higher win rate because you can secure the first priority pick. So it'll depend on which of these teams thinks they have the priority pick. So yeah, obviously the loser gets side selection. They may opt for blue side if they have a champion they really want to take away on B1.
Yeah, you do also. I mean, on red side you get the counter pick, but it doesn't look like there's too many counter picks, sort of like on the board right now.
No, and
Okay.
this is game 3, so lots of champions already out. We should see some strange champions coming through, hopefully.
Pardon me. Oh, sorry, still a little bit sick.
That's all right. We're not
Right,
sick of this, so it's
we're not sick of
doing
this. This is
good.
reviving my energy right now.
Oh yeah.
Let me get you into the lobby.
Yeah,
I
I
wonder
got
how
kicked
much of a
out.
factor the lag from Griff was playing in that game because he was so far ahead. And then Oldham Wash just started pausing because Griff kept disconnecting. I wonder how many of those team fights could have gone differently if he wasn't lagging, if that was the case.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I think it was really just a couple of over aggressions. I think Braden did overplay his hand in a lot of those situations. He went in quite hard with the counter strike, looking for that pick, looking for just some CC. Whereas there's not much damage to take out the Zinzao or to take out the Scion. I mean the Ornn rather. So they were looking for these snap engages and these quick wipes where there was quite a lot of durability on the side of Gmeow.
Yeah, the Jacks really had a hard time getting anything done in the team fights. Obviously, doesn't have the damage to get through the Ornn or even really the Rise once he scaled up with the Rower. And the Milio obviously able to queue him away in a few of those fights as well. The Jacks really did struggle. So yeah, you were right questioning the Jacks pick. It ended up falling flat on its face.
It's just, yeah, when you hit late game, it's just not the situation you want to be in. Whereas, like, you don't completely annihilate camps because most late game junglers, you want to just, if you are farming, you want to just wipe out the camp in one go. Um, and you're also not getting to split push. You don't have that TP. You wipe through towers, so you're pretty much negating like half of what makes Jax's kit great. Is that he's super slippery. You know, you can ward hop, you can get away, and you can smack down towers. And as soon as you put him in the jungle, you're just limiting yourself. And yeah, I get it can be a soft counter to Xin Zhao in the early game, but you might as well play like a Zehen or something at that rate.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, we got to also thank Braden as well because we've got a game 3. You know, and if maybe he'd played something with a little bit more snowball, we might not be here right now.
Yeah, I think we have to thank Gobos for bringing us to game 3 though.
Yeah.
That was a 1v9 performance if I've ever seen one.
Generational performance, and definitely do want to shout out Galaxy as well. Was doing some mad damage, and especially that last team fight. So yeah, it was really the carries of Gmeow just pulling a rabbit out of the hat at the end of that last game.
Yeah, they ended up just getting outscaled in the end as well. With the Ornn passive just providing essentially gold value to the whole team of Gmeow. The Ash, although it's no slouch when it comes to scaling, Yunara is just renowned for how hard she scales, and the Ashe just has no chance of matching her damage output in the late game, especially when you pair her with the likes of Emilio.
Yeah, and maybe looking back at that, the Seraphine would have been exactly what the fight needed because, the the ult still goes through the Ornn and can hit the backline. Whereas Braum, like his ult is fairly short range and there's not really too much stuff that you're shielding to try and block. Maybe a couple Yunara auto attacks. But apart from that, there's no big no big projectile that's coming at you.
Yeah, and as you can see, we've jumped straight back into the draft phase. None of the bands changing for any
Asante
of the
first
games
pick.
yet. Yeah, and so Gmeow opted for the Cassante first pick. So it looks like Oldham Wash obviously picked the red side.
Yep.
Um, so they obviously wanted a top lane counter in mind, but they're going to be able to get that in
Ooh.
phase one, which changes the dynamic of this draft quite a lot. Uh,
Blind Zaya Khan. What do you think about that?
Blind Zyra Khan is pretty bold. It gets punished by high range. So the likes of like a Caitlyn could be pretty devastating. I'm
Yeah.
not sure Galaxy plays that though. I want to see some. I want to see some long range coming out of the bot lane of Gmeow now to punish that.
And would you pair up? What do you think in terms of the Caitlyn? Do you go? Do you still whip out the Lux or do you still whip out the Morg?
Oh, it looks like they're opting for a Sivir instead.
That's
So
still nice. I like
we won't
that.
even get to see. So Sivir actually does have a really good matchup into the Zyra Khan. She can spell shield the feathers from Zyra, so she avoids the root and just cuts down so much of her damage. She can just outright spell shield the Rakan knockup as well. It's so telegraphed. It's the easiest spell shield of your entire life. So I'm interested to see what they pair this Sivir with. I hope to see an Enchanter because if you play Engage, you're kind of just playing into the Zyra's hand. That's what she wants to be versing. Engage, where she
What's
can lay
left?
down her
Yeah.
feathers. Yeah, so
Jana. Jana's
Janna,
nice.
Janna makes so much sense here. Xayah is quite a short range ADC, only having 525 range if I'm not mistaken. So this Janna can really punish her by pressing W on her um, in the lane phase when she's trying to CS.
Yeah, I think that's a nice answer. I think the old and washed first two picks there is very bold, as you want to use the Zaya exclusively if you're getting absolutely engaged on. And I think this Garen is going to be a nice pickup, obviously a hard counter into the Cassante. As soon as he ults you, you just throw the Demacian Justice on him and he's dead. So essentially negates the Cassante ult in lane completely.
And that's just the beauty of a game three. You're probably never seeing a Garen in game one.
I do like it as a pure Cassante counter pick though, and with the blind Cassante coming out, why the hell not?
Lilia ban.
Yes, that want to be targeted at Tezza, obviously. He's really strong on the likes of the power farming junglers. I'm not sure what they're going to do with their last ban. They might throw out another ban at Tezza with the likes of Neferi or something. Or they could ban another one of Govos' champs, with the likes of the Akali and Yone still being left up.
Yeah, so they are banning the Lissandra away, so we potentially could see Govos going for like a Yone. The Yone Civil works pretty well. Honestly, if Tezza wanted Maokai duty right now, a Yone Maokai comp could go low key pretty hard right now.
Yeah. I wonder what Oldham Wash is going to pick here. Are they going to give their mid counter pick? They surely do. They surely just blind the jungle right here and give Griff their counter pick.
Yeah, you would have to as well, because I mean, last game he showed that he can get the better of Govos in lane, but I think Gmail, what they need to take from last game is the fact that if the game goes late enough, they can win it just off of like pure macro and decision making alone.
Yeah, absolutely. So we see the Vi come
Why?
through. So that means they're gonna have to find a strong pairing for the Vi. Um, Griff plays LeBlanc, so I know LeBlanc Vi is quite a strong pairing, so he might offer that, but we're gonna have to see what Govos picks first.
Griff could pick up the Galio potentially as well, but I think they might be lacking a little bit of damage, especially into a Zahin. But you don't really like the Vi into the situation at all, against the Siva, against the Janna. Oh, it's just feeling a little bit yucky for this Oldham Wash draft right now for me.
Yeah, Vi can feel pretty bad into the Janna. There are options, obviously being unstoppable during her ult. And for this likes of Sivir, a lot of people think Sivir counters Vi, but any knowledgeable Vi player will just smite the Sivir while they're flying at
Yeah.
her with the ultimate. So it's actually a really good pick into her. She's quite short range, so she's really susceptible to getting via ulted because she's going to be in quite an aggressive position in these team fights.
Zoe.
I wonder if this is a meme
Ooh.
or this is a real pick here. I haven't seen Gobos play the likes of Zoe. Yeah,
Yeah, all right. That's a bit better. All right. I mean, this Gmeow comp is looking pretty tasty right now in terms of. I don't think the Garen is going to be getting onto the Sivir or Azir at any point of the game.
yeah, this is disgusting front to back composition from Gmeow. I don't think you can pick LeBlanc here as Griff, so I wonder what he's going to pick. I don't. Okay, it looks like he's going to go for the Victor.
Victor's
Uh,
all right here. I think you're not left with many options. Victor, obviously, you would love the Ari right now, but you're definitely not getting that. That's already banned away. But yeah, the Victor. I don't. Oh man, I just am not liking this Olden Wash comp. I think they have been thoroughly outdrafted in this draft.
yeah,
Azir
I
did
tend
get
to agree.
buffed.
I tend to agree. I think Gmeow's just got such a simple composition. They just want to play front to back, whereas it's a bit more complicated for Odin Wash, with having a Vi and a Garen that need to find angles into these team fights.
Yeah, it's as you said, it's all about execution. And when it comes down to this third game, where the pressure's on you, having a really defined objective with your team comp, which is obviously with Gmail is disengage, re-engage. Um, it just makes it so much easier to keep the comms clear, to understand where you're going, what you're doing. Whereas Olden Wash's comp, it's a bit all over the place. You don't really have much to help out the Victor in terms of setting up his damage. The Vi doesn't really have any specific follow up for her ult. Um, and then the Garen is just kind of running around with his pants down. Yeah, it's just a bit hard. I do see there's a world where this Rakan can pull off some crazy engages and get the Garen and the Vi in there, but um, there's just so many tools. There's the Cassante ult, takes the Garen out of the fight. He might die to the Demacian Justice, but at least he's not killing the Sivir. The Janna ult, the Azir wall. Oh, it's just a bit rough. Azir's quite weak in lane right now, though, so if Griff is able to get some form of a lead, he will be able to do a lot on this Victor, though, because there's not much threat coming back onto him on the Victor.
Hey, Grunky, in the client, can you quickly press spectate?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, if this Janna pick is piloted correctly, this Rakan should just almost never be able to find good angles in team fights. It's just such a hard counter.
Zahan can go pretty crazy as well too. Especially he gets ahead in the early game.
Yeah,
This is a champ that Tezza could take and kind of dominate the game with.
we saw what Entric was able to get done on Zehen Jungle just the other day. So it's definitely got potential to pop off.
Yeah, it can be super scary. And again,
And
once you get the GA as well too, and you get 2 revives, it's pretty crazy.
And that's a good shout in the chat. I wonder if this is going to be the Penguin Garen. Because at the moment, Garen is currently a Penguin for April Fools. So we'll see if that one has made its way into the tournament draft setting as well.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Penguin Domo because he's just filling in for every team as their top laner at the moment.
Yeah, he was appearing all over the place. Even last week, jumped in for KNS. Oh, 2 days ago now. It feels like last week, but yes, it actually is Penguin Garen. So we'll be having a little bit of April flair in this game.
Yeah, why not?
Does actually
We
make
deserve
the
it.
hitbox a little bit smaller potentially visually.
Yeah, I was gonna say surely there's some competitive ruling about this. I don't know.
I'm just
You
gonna
go
be
check
right back.
what's happening in the LCK right now and check if Garen was picked and what they say about it.
So while we just wait out this spectator delay, what lanes have you guys got your eyes on in this game 3?
I think it's been interesting the top lanes. It doesn't really feel like either has got a definitive advantage at any point. They just both seem to be existing and then either outscaling each other or the other team starts doing more across the map, so it brings them ahead. But we're not really seeing any sort of solo kills or much coming out of there, so could be interested to see if we get any more action in game 3 from him.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's going to be much action in the bot lane as well. I did play the Sivir Xayah matchup. It was almost the exact same champs. I think I had the Karma instead of the Janna on my side. And the lane was just so boring that we ended up just spam laughing and throwing up emotes at each other. So I don't expect too much action in the bot lane here.
Yeah, I'll see if they choose to do it as well. Otherwise, I think, as always, the jungle's been absolute cinema the entire time between Tezza and Brayden. I don't think it's going to be any different this time.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure we
Brayden.
will get multiple invades across the
Yeah,
board.
Brayden with the early invades. It seems to be his style. And he's in a matchup that absolutely gets outscaled, so he might be looking to get aggressive in the early levels like he has been.
Yeah, he will need to get ahead on that Vi. He'll have to be constantly roaming and trying to, a little bit like that Nocturne, trying to pick on the side lanes pretty much every time that cease and desist is up.
Yeah, absolutely. Having said that, there's not many threats to this Xayah as well. She might have a really good time in these team fights. There's not really anyone that can get to her with her ultimate. She can obviously pretty easily react to the Azir scoop. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Does
she
it
might.
buffer the Cassante ultimate? Or will he be able to
If Cassante presses R first, it'll go through. So Xayah will be in trouble if she does get Cassante ulted.
I am back. Have I missed anything? Nope, we're still waiting for the game.
yeah, just should be soonish. Let's see what we're at. We're at 2 minutes right now. And we will be in game for sure. Let's see.
But both of these teams, apart from the assaults and battery, there's just no engage. So we might end up with a couple steering contests when it comes to these crucial objectives. But I think as soon as that Vi ultimate is used, she might be, in the wrong place at the wrong time, stuck on the back line, not able to do much damage. Um, but yeah, hopefully she can find some advantages early. Vi is really good at taking early dragons. So if they're able to pick up a couple of those straight off the bat and have Gmeow be forced to come to them in these fights, it might work out a little bit better.
A lot of that early dragon power will also come from the bot lane. So who do we think is going to have the most priority in the first 10 or so minutes of the game?
The way I see bot lane playing out is that Sivir should have prio. Um, the Sivir champ's pretty gross with her wave
Yeah.
clear, just constantly shoving waves under the tower of the opposing bot lane. So I would expect, yeah, Gmeow's bot lane to have priority. The only rough thing is that Sivir doesn't do great damage to dragon, so um, how is Zehen's dragon taking ability as a jungler? I haven't really seen him solo them.
He does have an auto reset, but
Yeah.
no percentage damage, so isn't going to be able to take it that quickly like the likes of maybe like a Lee Sin, a Vi, a Maokai, who can all take dragons pretty speedily early, the Mundos. Um, so I do assume that he will be going for grubs, as he does have a little bit more of that AoE damage, so potentially just going to trade that early game. But we'll see. We'll see. The Sivir is probably going to hard shove most of the time. And from your experience, Wrangel, can the Janna on reaction cue the Rakan W?
Yeah, quite easily as well. She can cancel it, so even when the circle appears, she doesn't have to do it as the Rakan dashes. Um, she only has to cancel them before the knock-up actually occurs, like while the circle's on the ground. So it's just such a hard counter. And then obviously at level 6, it's even quicker to just press ultimate if you're that worried about the engage.
Yeah.
It's actually
Well, I
going to
mean,
be, yeah, the Rakan's going to have to be really creative with his engages with this Janna.
we have made our way into game. For game 3, if you're just joining us, you have missed out on 2 absolute banger games. Back and forth action across the board. But yeah, making it into this third game, we've got the Garen in the top lane. We've got the Janna in the bot lane. So we've got a couple interesting pieces to play with. Not the usual fearless game 3 shenanigans we might see, as you know, there's still picks like the Victor, the Vi on the table. But yeah, we'll see how everything shapes up. This mid lane has been pretty spicy when it comes to back and
It's not
forth
a
action.
Penguin Garen.
It's not. He's gone for the. I think it only applies to the base skin Garen. So he's gone for the Warhammer 40k Space Marine Garen skin, which is as equally as cool in my opinion.
I think the Penguin clears.
Some
Yeah, the Penguin's pretty badass.
some bright pink skin. There's a lot of pink skins on on Gmeow.
Synergy is pretty
Yeah.
important when it comes to
High
winning
synergy.
games.
Indeed.
Most of our wins in the OBL were because we had matching skins, and I discussed that beforehand. But wow,
that's fair enough.
That trading from the Garen E level 1 is pretty potent.
Yeah, but as you can see, this Sivir Janna just has complete priority. The Sivir's just so comfortable in this matchup that she's opted to go for the Ghost as well. So she's going to be a big problem in this team fight. She's going to be extremely speedy with the Ghost and the Janna passive as well.
Yeah, there's no point in click CC for the side of Old and Washed apart from obviously the Vi ult. So as long as the Vi ult doesn't do too much crazy stuff to this Sivir, she can kind of just run around doing whatever she wants.
Yeah, that Sivir is going to be ever frustrating. As, like I always say, those ricochets just extend more than you ever want them to. It's forever frustrating landing into her.
I would have actually enjoyed maybe a Ghost on this Garen, or maybe you could have gone the Ignite, but a Ghost would have been a nice tool just to like stick on this backline, because you're going to get knocked away by the Janna, you're going to get knocked away by the Azir, so having that Ghost up and ticking, able to sort of get you back in the fight a little bit faster, I would have preferred on the Garen, but you know, he is going for the teleports, wants to have a shield when he's coming into these fights, I'm assuming.
Yeah, fair enough. You get that, you know, get the speed boost as well from the empowered teleport, so kind of like a mini Ghost.
Yeah, not really known for team fighting too well. He's more of a split lane champion, more of a side laning champion. So I don't mind that he's opted for the teleport at all.
Yeah, but in these team fights, he will have to end up in one of the team fights, and being able to just beeline for the squishies, get a Q off, get a stride breaker off, and then you know, whack them with the ult is kind of your only option. You're not really trying to AoE down multiple people, so you know, we'll see what happens. The Phantom Dancer stride breaker combo could be all he needs to get to that backline.
Yeah, grab a drink. I'll be back in a minute.
Not too easy, mate. Hydrate yourself.
So Vi did go for a Raptors invade. Based on the thumbs up emote, I'm guessing he stole those chickens away.
Yeah, potentially, because well, they're at the. I mean, Zahen's up on CS, so he could have. Yeah, interesting to see. He isn't going.
Vi didn't collect their Krugs.
Oh yeah, so did opt for that. Yeah, Brayden definitely has been doing some creative invades in these last 2 games. Definitely expecting him to keep up that, putting the pressure on Tezza. I think Tezza is getting a little frustrated by having him in his jungle. We will see, because Tezza was, you know, 2-7 I think last game, after going 2-1. So we'll see if there's any sort of tilt effects lingering. I think though, you know, on Zahen, he's got a pretty easy job.
Yeah, and this Sivir was able to get a coal base nice and early with the priority. Looks like she's basing again.
Cool. The double longsword, yeah, just taking as many sort of these cheeky bees as possible. Double longsword's gonna enable her to shove out the lane just even harder. We'll be going, what, Essence Reaver first, do you expect?
Yeah, the double longsword kind of does indicate that. I'm much more of a fan of Yuntao personally.
Really?
But that does depend on whether you can afford a BF sword or not. Because a scout slingshot just feels completely terrible to purchase on Sivir. You do very little damage without items as it is. So when you have a little slingshot, it doesn't feel the best. Essence Reaver feels pretty bad into tanky teams, but as you can see, Odd and Washed aren't really that tanky.
Yeah.
Apart from the likes of the Garen. So yeah, this Essence Reaver purchase isn't bad at all from the Sivir.
Yeah. And then what, into the Flicker Blades after that? It's usually the typical way to go. Oh, a nice little engage and a Q. Broden is here at the right time. My stream was lagging a little bit. As Tezza goes back, blows another flash onto Golden Features. It looks like they're going to go up. The feathers do come back and stun them up. So a nice little back and forth there. A little bit of skill being displayed. As potentially an all-in here in the top lane. The all-out does get popped as the Demacian Justice gets popped onto Meat Bun. Will there be a kill? Flash for flash as Govos is looking for Griff in the mid lane. Action all across the map right now as we were, wading through calm waters. But now everyone's looking to shake it up a bit as a TP from the spellbook is coming out to help out this mid lane pressure. But yeah, back and forth all across the map. Plenty of sums burnt. Nothing much to come on of it.
Yeah, it's crazy that no one went down in that team fight. I thought the Demacian Justice was absolutely gonna execute the Cassante, but it looks like he was able to press W in time and survive through it, and then the Garen ended up having to run away.
I don't think the W does block the damage because it's true damage, and the W is like damage reduction. So I think it goes straight through it. I think it might have just been the threshold wasn't quite there because. In the early game, you do really need to hit like an extra Q, but a nice Emperor's Divide puts Griff on the other side of the wall. He's going to escape under the tower. Chaos Storm coming back on the way. Assault and Barry is available. He's going to go in onto Govos. Brayden is going to go in. One more Concussive Strike comes out and is going to go down back 1-for-1. But the Rakan is here onto Tezza Boy. Tezza Boy is looking to try and proc this passive. Garen waddles his way down, but nothing quite to it. Just a 1-for-1 at the end of that.
Yep, just a 1-for-1 indeed. Both junglers grabbing the kill, so no kill's gonna go over to the mid laner. But Govos does go down for it. It was an impressive Emperor's Divide, but just couldn't catch out the Victor fully, and the re-engage from BRDN took him out, and Tezza came in and cleaned up.
Now Galaxy is getting caught out here. Flash is blown as well as the On the Hunt is going to slide out of there. Is up in CS, but that is really what you want to see on the side of the Rakan. One less escapability and disengage ability is going to give you a little bit more of an edge. Yeah, this top lane is still just going back and forth. You can dream down a little bit of CS, and a nice flash in there from Meat Bun. He is looking for a solo kill onto this Garen. The Demacia Justice doesn't come out in time. Nice solo kill onto Meat Bun. He hasn't been able to get the better of You Can Dream in this top lane this whole series, but now is a good time to start.
Yeah, the counter pick of the Garen into Cassante is falling pretty flat on its face at the moment. You really want to see the Garen pulling ahead. Once the Cassante starts to get an early kill, an early lead rather, like this, he ends up becoming a bit too tanky. Yeah, this is pretty bad news for the top lane of Odd and Washed.
That might be that first fully solo kill in the top lane, as Meat Bun does take him out with no assist.
One of the first solo kills of the series, I think.
A very team-oriented match so far.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it will be the Blackfire Torch for the victor in the mid lane. Is looking just yet to have that extra damage come out. Will probably be Blackfire into the Shadow Flame and just maximize the damage output there rather than say like a Roa build. But yeah, I think that's a good call, and then obviously it will be the Nash's Tooth for the Azir first item, and he'll probably opt in. Oh, a tower shot getting taken by You Can Dream. Yeah, this Casante's playing this very well, as Galaxy is a little bit out of position. A nice tornado being charged up early, taking golden features out of the mix. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's a little bit of tomfoolery going on.
you can see the power of the disengage. This matchup is really brutal for Rakan. The Janna just has to commit a Q to cancel an ultimate ability from the Rakan. So very sad from the side of Golden Wash.
Yeah, and what do you think ideally would you be building on Xayah in this game as well?
So it looks like he's opting for Hex Optics first, which is a really nice item, especially since they improved the cost and changed the range from 600 to 500. So your shorter range ADCs like Xayah, who's at 525, I believe, or 500, can get the full value out of it. I think she's going to opt for a Navori second, just so you're constantly pumping out those feathers and able to, press your E button constantly, and then pivot into either an Infinity Edge or an LDR. It really depends on how tanky this Sahan and Cassante get. If they start running away with it, she's going to need to go LDR third.
Yeah,
Which isn't ideal because you want that Infinity Edge just for damage sake. But yeah, she's going to be pretty hard pressed to get auto attacks off on this Azir late game, or even the Sivir for that matter.
Yeah, being short ranged, and then Azir can just put up soldiers to zone. It might be quite challenging for her.
But if there's any benefit, I feel like Oldhim Wash's team fighting will play out quite spread out. Like the Garen is going to come from a different angle. The Vi is looking for a mid gank, and a nice buffering of the Soldier's Divide. The Emperor's Divide goes straight through it. Really nice gank from Brayden there. Read the situation, walked through a little pocket of vision, and just got a perfect ult off. Oh, and another pick onto Galaxy in this bot lane, but here comes the Zahen as the turnaround gets the knock up onto the Xayah. Featherstorm does get popped. Yeah, some nice plays from the junglers there, being at the right time at the right place.
Get a scuttle fight now.
Smited away from Tezzaboy as per usual, but now Brayden knows that the smite is down for a brief amount of time. We'll have about 10 seconds left on that one. I don't think we're going to be able to get it off as the big Zahen ult blows 2 flashes to get out of the way of that one. TP comes down into the bot lane, and this will be Meatbun joining the party. Doesn't want to give over the second dragon for free. And I think this Garen won't mind just getting a couple free waves and a couple free plates in this top lane as the Hex Dragon goes over to Gmeow.
Yeah, probably the correct call from the Garen not committing his teleport there. As you can see, he's able to push the waves so quickly, so feels bad not getting the second Drake. But once you see the Cassante commit the teleport, you probably do have to just give it. So I like the decision from You Can Dream.
Yeah, and I think pretty much all of the big cooldowns is down from the side of Oldhim Wash. No Vi ult, no Victor ult, no Xayah ult, and no Rakan ult. So all of the tools that you want to use to get in and team fight properly are down.
See another all in.
Yeah, Cassante does
escape. Yeah, he's just
Cassante takes no damage.
Yeah, level 11 now to Garen's level 10.
It's a pretty cool champion. He builds completely defensive, but then presses R and just does so much damage. It's a very 200 years design.
What's that great Showmaker meme, where the copy paster, if you're familiar with it?
No, I'm not. I might have to do my research.
Oh, I might have to just read it out. Let me look it up. Showmaker something. I'm pretty sure that's who said it first, but it was a pretty legendary. Oh yeah, he says this in Korean, so it might have better effect. But this is Cassante, a champion with 4,700 HP, 329 armor, 201 magic resist. Champion has unstoppable, has shield, has wall, hopping abilities, has an airborne. Furthermore, the cooldown is only 1 second, 0 mana cost. Cost is 15. When he transforms, W cooldown is refunded, and passive deals true damage. And then for armor / MR, the more you stack, your CDR gets low. Your CDR gets low on your Q. The casting speed faster, and then has AD ratio. So his W is eek ah. So yeah, it goes harder with the emojis, but
that's right. Truer words have never been said. I'm sure
Yeah.
the Korean effect makes it sound even more ominous.
Yeah, I do live in a Korean household, so my Korean is getting there, but I don't think I can do a lot of the justice to those words.
That's alright.
But yeah, legendary copypasta, probably one of my favorites in regards to talking about epic riot design. But it looks like Braden is trying to get a kill down. TP gets traded back, and this will be the Azir coming into the top lane. Will they be able to get off an Emperor's Divide? Doesn't look like it, as the Garen and the Vi will just slide out of there. Vi is one of the champs that can put a little bit more threat onto the Cassante with those concussive blows, reducing the armor. Here's the boy catching out Griff here in the mid lane, but can Griff turn it back? I don't think he will be able to. The smite does get popped out as Griff is on the run right now. Galaxy X doing a lot of trading damage onto Golden Features in the bot lane. But yeah, a lot of split fights across the map. No one really getting any discernible advantages from this, as the gold lead sits at around 800.
Might be in danger.
Oh yeah, that's not where you want to be. Golden Features picks up that kill, so not the worst outcome, but yeah, a little bit lazy on the warding mission for the Janna.
Yeah, you can't park there. I'm keen to see this Sivir builds second. She's got a couple of daggers, which I think is just for her boots. So her options are pretty much Navori or IE. And yeah, the BF sword, as you can see, she's going to build that IE second, which I really like. I always think you should go IE second on Sivir, if you can afford it. It used to be pretty hard to afford IE second, until they introduced the bot lane quest. And now you just get a big cash out around the time you're looking to buy the BF sword. So it's a lot easier to afford now.
Yeah, it doesn't feel too bad until you doing the sort of last purchases of the Crit Cloak and waiting for that last bit of gold, but having a BF sword and a pickaxe in the inventory is far from a bad situation.
Yeah, it just allows her to come online at 2 items instead of 3, which, you know, once she gets to Navori second, she can hit like a wet noodle.
Yeah, and you can pretty much, full clear a wave with just like 3W auto attacks with the Infinity Edge?
Yeah, but you've also got infinite mana from the Essence Reaver, so you can just Q it as well. Why not? It kind of is, it can be overkill, but just, yeah, so much pushing power from this champion, obviously.
So, Braden has been able to sneak the Herald. We'll see where this one gets placed. He is making his way to the bot lane, so potentially looking to open up that bot lane as soon as possible, potentially giving them a little bit more pressure and a better route onto this dragon for the next fight, which will be coming up right now, and it will be the Kim Drake. We'll see if they go for the Herald engage, which can be quite potent and hard to sort of block that one out.
Tezza is around a red buff, and Chemtech Drake is up, first of the soul.
I feel like if this Cassante and Zahin is able to get a Chemtech soul, that is pretty OP.
It wouldn't be good if they can get that one. Well, would be good for Gmeow, but not for Old Washed.
So Griff going for the double burn item build on the Victor, is hoping just to poke them out with a couple E's from range, and then sort of get a decent amount of tick damage off on his ult, rather than, you know, going for the Shadow Flame, going for a Lich Bane, anything like that, to try and completely eliminate the Azir. So yeah, interesting build coming out. I don't think he's going to get off too much value unless he's just hitting the Cassante over and over and over. But we will see when it comes to a big fight. Old and Wash just letting them take that dragon for free, no contest.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the gold breakdown, because this Xayah, Old and Wash straight ahead, but this Xayah seems to be quite behind in components. Yeah, so you can see that Xayah's down almost 1,000 gold to the Sivir.
Yeah, only 10 CS down, so I guess it's all coming down to the plate gold.
Yeah, but then you can see Braden's built himself up quite a nice lead himself. So that seems to be where the majority of the gold lead is coming from, is from the Rakan and the Vi.
Oh, they are setting up for a bot dive. I think Galaxy will be wise just to get on out of here as quick as possible. Does pop the ult to get away. Assault Battery is available still. A TP is used to get to this bot lane. It will be Meat Bun. They're chasing him down, but as I was saying in draft, there's not really any engage on either side frankly, so getting onto anyone is quite a hard task. Now they might be able to find this Garen in the top lane. Govos is baiting this out almost expertly, but he also sniffs it out.
wrapping around.
Here's the repeat gank. As they have popped the grand entrance early. One auto attack left on that tower. But BRDN is going to have to flash out of there. And a nice Emperor's Divide comes onto 2. Exhaust back onto the Sivir. Is going to do nothing as Sivir gets 2 kills. And that is almost the worst possible outcome for that tower dive.
Yeah, a bit of a misexecution from Vi and Rakan. You can see Rakan popped his ultimate. And Vi committed with the ultimate. But Rakan wasn't able to find anyone with the quickness. And now this Sivir is just accelerated. She's going to be able to purchase her Infinity Edge and then probably be well on the way to an Avori or an LDR as well.
Griff is looking for a kill on the backside. We'll get the shutdown onto Galaxy. I'm not sure if it was a shutdown or not, but that's a nice chunk of gold onto the victor. As I think if anyone is going to be able to carry Oldhim Wash this game, it is going to be Griff on this victor. Can be such a great champion. He hasn't been pressured much in lane. And while Victor does have a pretty good laning phase, it's his late game which is really potent.
Yeah, it looks like... You go.
I was going to say, he's sitting comfortable right now, 2-0-1. Hasn't really made anything big happen, but it's just been sitting there, doing what he needs to do.
Yeah, it looks like the bot lane of Gmeow kind of overplayed their hand there, being in between the towers. And pretty crucially, this Victor mops up the Sivir. Now he's sitting on 2 items, so he's a bit of a threat himself.
Yeah, and while the Sivir will be doing heaps of damage in team fights, you know, if she's not able to get through a little choke point with a gravity field in it, she won't do any damage off in these team fights. And also, if there's a Chaos Storm sitting on top of her, there's only so much damage that the Janna can shield.
Yeah, one good placed Chaos Storm from a fed Victor is going to be pretty brutal.
So we do have the C44 Hex Optics into the Phantom Dancer. What do you think about that one?
It's an interesting build. I personally prefer Navori Flicker Blades on Xayah just because you're like pretty dependent on haste. And I know it's got no haste on it, but it kind of functions like haste as like in the fact that it gives you your abilities back quicker. You're able to get many more feathers out in the team fights. So it's an interesting purchase. I'm not sure I like it. I definitely would prefer the Flicker Blades myself.
Garen's now dealing a little bit of extra damage here as Govos did have the Emperor's Divide him away. Just one E there completely chunked him out. Has gone for the Black Cleaver, so he's going to be able to chunk out this this Cassante in the side lanes a lot better. So, and I think that's why Govos is on the duty. Brayden does find the Cassante on the back line. I don't think they're going to have nearly enough damage to take this big boy out here. Another knockup does come out though, as the Victor is investing a lot onto them. A nice double knockup as the Janna just gets exploded on the backside. An ADC 1v1 going here. Abe actually gets the 1v1 onto the Sivir, and they're picking up heaps of gold across the board. And Gmeow has the nice comp, but they don't have the nice plays as everyone is getting wiped off the map. Nice play by Brayden there as a shutdown does go back onto the Azir. He is going to have a nice little corridor to hit on, but the Garen is coming through it. He is spinning on top of this Azir, picking up the kill back. Triple kill onto Govos though, has gone from nothing to something in these last fights. Little back and forth there happening in the bottom quadrant of the jungle. Dragon just coming up.
Yeah, Oldhim Wash, they're going to pick up the advantage, but pretty close.
This Azir is well on his way to Rabadons after that, crucially though.
Yeah, it was a big fight from Griff. Did heaps of damage. I mean, that Janna was full HP and essentially just died to the Chaos Storm there.
You can see what happens when the Xayah gets some alone time on the Sivir. Sivir, obviously, you know, kind of the queen of AoE, but there's just so much single target damage coming out of Xayah with her W.
Yeah, and Xayah definitely has so much 1v1 potential. Looks like another fight is brewing as they do catch out the Garen. The On the Hunt gets popped. And this is Soul Drake for Gmeow. Are they just going to get it for free? It looks like Griff is positioning to try and get onto this, but they don't have many passages to try and contest this apart from going straight into this Cassante, You Can Dream is taking up a lot of damage as they do go in and pull the trigger. A huge AoE onto Govos, gets taken out. The backline is being disrupted as Tezaboy is taking a lot of damage as well. The Cassante is tanky, but not tanky enough. The Garen is getting so much value from these E's in these team fights. I was saying at the start, not much you can do on this Garen in team fights, but apparently there is a lot you can do on this Garen.
The Rakan was absolutely everywhere as well. Everywhere.
Yeah, you can see the pings from Abe onto his support, so he clearly loved what he saw from Golden Features there.
Very nice.
Who shouldn't love what Golden Features did there? Just threw everyone up in the air and Garen just spun around.
Yeah, that was a really nice team fight, and so much value from the Chaos Storm, so much value from the AoE, from the Garen, just absolutely shredded. And unfortunately, Tez is just not having much impact in these last 2 games.
Yeah, it looks like Gmeow forgot it was Season of Demacia.
Yeah, Garen does have that plot armor going for him right now.
He does indeed.
And he's very fed, this Emerald, pardon me, this Emerald top laner is pulling out all stops right now and is low-key carrying in this game. Alongside his mid laner, obviously Griff, doing an excellent job in these team fights. But yeah, this Garen just doing the business.
Could be in for another close game.
I think it will be.
It's been really, really good game so far. Lots of gold swings and team fights going both ways, and we're getting the same stuff now.
What I do notice though is Old and Wash don't have very great siege, whereas Gmeow has a lot of wave clear, so to be able to threaten these towers as 5 is going to be probably detrimental to their game plan. So yeah, keep this Garen in the side lane. Oh, they are going to look for a pick onto the Zahen. A nice Emperor's Divide pushes them back, but also gets buffered at the same time. Abe takes out Govos as the ricochets are coming through. Tezaboy does go down. Wow, that was a great trigger pull from Braden there and just takes them out. Before they can set up or do anything, the Rabadons is on the Azir, but this pick is just looking a little bit flat right now.
Yeah, it's the decisiveness from Old and Wash that's really making the difference at the moment. Gmeow seemed very passive in this game 3, perhaps feeling a bit of pressure. Old and Wash just always making the first move.
Yeah, sometimes if you know you can hit the late game and win, you sort of like, say la vie, whatever happens in the mid game happens. We'll get to late game and we'll win. Oh, Golden Features almost goes down there on the back end. This Garen is whacking away at the bottom tower and he'll be able to speed away pretty easily, but yeah, it's a little bit of complacency is coming into play. I totally agree with you, Wrangel.
Yeah, Features is hella locked in right now. He's playing crazy on this Rakan.
Having a lot more impact than the Janna, which on paper does counter him. So he's playing very well.
Yeah, he's got a decent gold lead as well, sitting on 2 items now.
And this game will decide who makes it into the finals. So, they're showing a lot of their hand in terms of what playstyles they like to go for. Old and Washed really locked in on this aggressive playstyle, finding picks in the jungle. Braden is the absolute centerpiece of this team right now in terms of decision making. But you also have these carries, Griff doing a lot of damage at all the times. And also, Abe is just being so consistent throughout this series.
And it feels like the Zahen hasn't really got on his feet either. I haven't really seen any meaningful revives coming out at all, where he's been able to stack up that passive in a fight beforehand and actually make full use of the champion's kit. Kind of just feels like Tez is having to defensively ult almost every team fight right now, as he keeps getting engaged upon.
Yeah, and it's a few of the times it's just been this Garen ult that's forced him out, getting him executed before he was able to get that revive off. So this Garen pick is really paying dividends. I know it was picked for the side lane, but it's having an effect in team fights as well. Just needs to engage come out, so nothing should be happening just yet.
Yeah, BRDN just keeps queuing in and queuing back out again, trying to waste all their cooldowns.
This Garen's got so much gold, like 4 items compared to the 2 of the Cassante.
Yeah, 4,000.
They are doing a bit of A-ramming right now. Both TPs are up for both top laners. They didn't opt to try and set up a side lane before this. They're just going, look, this might be the last fight of this game. We're going to make it a goodie. And a nice W onto the Xayah. The Rakan is going to try and come back and find and engage. A nice knock-up onto the Zahin. Zahin going to get a big ult on the backline, but just gets eliminated by the Demacian Justice. The Sivir is trying to find some good picks on the backline. Is heading away. A nice Emperor's Divide. But, oh, they are going to find some picks onto the backline. Galaxy is heading away. Is going to get out too. But this Victor is just a monster right now, and so is Brayden. They are going to be able to get Soul Point. That fight looked a little bit better, but not quite what they wanted. They are looking to push down mid lane, maybe. Just maybe they're going to be able to finish the game here. I'm not sure if they do have enough time. They're definitely going to get an inhib, but I think that this dragon take is probably optimal.
Yeah, and if you're Gmeow, why are you fighting that? It's only the 3rd dragon. You can have another 5 minutes to scale up. I'm not sure why they feel so pressured to fight for that 3rd dragon. They've just dug themselves a deeper hole by doing that.
And this bottom inhib going down is perfect timing for the Baron, which comes up in 20 seconds. Old and Wash have got pretty much all the pieces across the map that they want to have.
All the waves are pushed in except top as well too, so no map position for Gmeow.
Yeah, and unlike Game 2, Griff doesn't have this pressure to be the one that engages, to be the one that finds these picks. He can just sit at the back of the fight, throw out a couple lasers, throw out the Chaos Storm, and just sort of waddle around dodging things. So he's in a great position right now where he doesn't have too much on his shoulders, whereas Govos on the other hand is, he's that meme of that guy sweating on his keyboard, typing as many keys as possible, having to have as many soldiers down, auto-attacking, and then you cut to You Can Dream, who's just singing his way to the backline, and he's just ulting someone.
Yeah, it's Garen Gaming. Peak mechanical experience.
I wonder if they're just going to get this Baron for free. Gmeow does not seem wise to it, and Xayah just has so much Baron damage.
Yeah, Tesla's walking away.
This one's just going to go over to them completely free.
Yeah. And it is a broken stopwatch for the Azir. So we will see if he's able to get that Zhonya's completed before the big push of Old and Wash come out. Because if he gets caught out by the Salt and Battery into Vault Breaker, he's pretty much dead in one shot. Because that Chaos Storm is doing a lot right now.
Yes, even in the last fight around the Dragon Pit, you could see Cassante just stuck in the Chaos Storm and taking significant damage as well too. Everyone now that's being harmed by it.
This is going to be the final push here, potentially. The Sand Tower does come up and does go down almost instantly. A little bit of a last-ditch effort from the Azir. Flashes are available across the board for a couple key members. We will see if the Sivir is able to potentially get this cannon minion who's sitting all the way back here away. Meat Bun going up to get some trades. Some W's will come out from the Sivir. It is able to clear most of the wave.
There's going to be good wave clear at least.
Yeah, so the game does get extended out a little bit. It's a very long best of 3 that we've got on our hands.
It is indeed.
But with the grand final playoff spot on the line, you don't want to take too many risks. And in last game, I felt Old and Wash thought they had it, and they took a couple too many risks, and they got pushed back and lost the game.
Yeah, as you can see this game though, they've got a much bigger gold lead. I believe it was only around 5k gold in game 2. They're up about 8,000 at the moment, so surely they can transition this into a win this time.
Yeah, I think the pieces that they're working with this time are a lot better for closing out the games. Whereas last game, really they just sort of had to go in as fast as possible. You know, like Scion, Vex, Jax. You sort of just have to go in. Whereas this team comp, you have a little bit of poke with the Victor. You can kind of bait them out. Has some area control with the W. I wasn't liking this team comp on paper, but the way that they've played it out has been exceptional.
Yeah, it's been really good execution all around. I was worried a bit at the start, specifically around Brayden's Vi, as it didn't seem like it was getting off to the best start, but it's really turned it around throughout the entire mid game, and is just making impact around the entire map. You can see that with 13 assists right now, almost joint highest kill participation with the Victor. So definitely is being involved in almost everything that Old Washed are doing.
And if you're the side of Gmeow here, I think you can give this. It's not the most powerful soul. Obviously it is quite strong, but there are more scary souls. I think you're better off personally just giving them the soul and trying to scale up and hit some more item spikes. Because if they lose this fight for the soul, the game's just over.
Yeah, because the Garen is tanky, but ideally you want to be fighting under your towers. Getting as many ricochets off as possible, so a minion wave does help that out. And the Vi, has the Death Dance, but I'm sure it's not going to be that tanky for this 5-item Sivir when she does get to the Bloodthirster. So yeah, they are just A-ramming it at the moment. Old and Wash don't mind this too much, as they do have that bot lane pushing in. The Janna is going forward. They are kind of trying to bait this out.
And Azir scales like a monster, obviously, as well. So I'd like to see them give this. It looks like they are going to give it. I think it'd be very unwise to contest this. Just try and scale up until this Sivir and Azir hit full build, and then look for a fight. Even the Zahen is looking to try and get a 4th item as well, in my opinion. He probably wants a Guardian Angel. So yeah, it looks like they'll give this one and buy themselves a bit more time in the game by not contesting it.
Yep, so there's the soul going over to Old and Washed. I think this might be the first. This is the first soul we've seen in the series. I feel like all the games have ended before.
Maybe.
Soul. But yeah, they will be getting the Chemdrake, which doesn't feel that great, unless you're sort of Garen, maybe to some degree. But yeah, I mean, nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, Vi's got the Sundered Sky, so should affect a little bit as well.
It's gold for it, and he just gets whacked over the wall. Nothing to it, but that is the Emperor's Divide down before the Baron spawns, a minute, so he'll have it up in time. But yeah,
Farm
the threat
guard's
of
being
this Baron,
completed for...
the threat of this Garen is very real right now.
Yeah, he's sitting at level 20 and full build. Very, very scary.
Full items, and this Cassante is still waiting on 2 more items. Obviously, the build is potentially a little bit cheaper for the Garen, but he's only died once this game, which is pretty impressive. Same with Griff. We're 38 minutes into the game, and only having 1 death is definitely a pretty impressive feat.
Yeah, it sure is. And they'll be looking to try to keep that, as there's a 700 gold bounties on both of them right now.
This Sivir and Azir nearly are full build, and I don't think the pieces around... I know this Cassante is quite behind in gold, but I don't think the pieces around the Sivir and the Azir matter as much. They can provide quite a bit of utility in their own right. Once this Sivir and Azir are full build, I think these team fights are going to be really, really close.
Yeah, I think once GA is on the side of the Zahen, things might look quite a lot different, because if he's able to just buy time for his backline, it's just so much damage between the Azir and the Sivir. Lots of DPS, not much burst, so if they are able to play it slow, that will benefit them the most, as the Rakan is looking for an engage here, doesn't find anything, so that cooldown will be non-available for the next little bit, and that's been the main engage tool for Old and Washed, has been Golden Features, finding these crazy picks and crazy engages. So having that down is potentially where Gmeow wants to be in terms of finding their own fight.
And I don't think this Zahen has actually gotten his passive off a single game, so that Guardian Angel is really going to help, given that the Guardian Angel does pop before the passive, so I think for sure he's going to get the passive off with Guardian Angel.
Yeah, they should help, because right now, as I said, Tez is playing with half a champion almost. And the health bar on Janna is just so concerning every time I see Flutiso anywhere. So small compared to everybody else's.
And it only really is working with the redemption right now. Doesn't have, I mean, potentially could get him a Chaos, but you probably don't need to. So this Janna is sort of just building whatever at this point.
I actually really would have liked to see her go Ardent Sensor, because you have your two hyper carries really benefit off of attack speed, so I think that's a missed opportunity from the Janna.
Yeah, did go for the Shirelias instead. Not many games you do see the 3 items on the supports, but here we are, we're late game, 40 minutes in. Both teams not wanting to make the wrong move, as Gmeow is sort of trying to bait them into it. As it looks like Braden will advise against going in on that. I wonder how close this Zehen is for his GA, as I think that's going to be what they want to do. The TP is coming into the mid lane for the Azir, so they want to make sure this ARAM is even.
Do you want to fight this as Gmeow though? This Sivir has been farming up the Storm. She has to be close to her last item.
Yeah, as I was saying, if it was up to me, we'd be waiting on the GA from the Zehen. As this little bit more frontline, as yeah, Govos has been poked out by essentially 1E from the Victor, takes off half of his HP.
Yeah, I guess they
movement's
just
a lot more nervous.
Here they go, he's looking for the spin to win onto a couple. His damage is getting taken out as Golden Feature goes down in the background as everything is going onto the backline. Tezza gets taken out, but it looks like Braden is going to find the Sivir, and that might be all she wrote for the game as the Garen is spinning to win. Govos is up shit creek without a paddle though, and he's looking for a way out of this jungle. He is going to be hunted down. They might not be over just yet, but a huge pick onto Galaxy X there. Braden pretty much soloed him.
Yeah, they're only just going to be able to get a Baron off the back of this, which puts them in a great spot for Elder. Don't get me wrong, but Gmeow, more life in this game. The Sivir is well on her way to the Guardian Angel. But you can see just how much of a problem this Zed not having Guardian Angel is, right? He just hasn't gotten his passive off all game. Just goes down before getting it off again.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough one. Been a bit of a rough game for Tezza, but if anyone can smite steal the Elder Dragon, it's him.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what he's going to have to do. It's what he's going to have to do, because he sure as hell is not getting his passive off, likely.
That is pretty much their entire win con right now. Is Govos is doing a lot in these fights, but unfortunately, there's only so much that this Azir can do against, this Garen who is barreling down these team fights, and he pretty much solo engaged on that fight just by walking up and threatening them. His is poking his head out constantly looking for something. As a huge Empress Divide finds Griff on the back line. Assault and Battery comes out onto both of them. So, I mean, it was a great engage, but caught back and answered back perfectly by Burden. Oh my god. Just when you think the Empress Divide gets a crazy catch off, it just turns to crap. And they're going to get the Elder and potentially, look at these death timers, 40 seconds. They might be able to just run straight down mid after this. Hopefully they can get a shove off. But wow, it was a great Empress Divide from Govos, but just wasn't able to take them out in time. Galaxy just wasn't there, and that's their main damage source.
Yeah, this push is going to be really hard to hold off. The Baron and the Elder are going to be overlapping for quite a while. I don't think the Sivir and Azir wave clear is going to be enough. Ottawa should have the game here.
Yeah, I think so, unless it's a miracle save from the Sivir. It doesn't have a GA or anything that can help her push up more. The wave isn't too big, but the towers are going down so fast. They're getting smacked. There's going to have to be something crazy, but Sivir is getting annihilated, and the finals are set. Old and Wash versus Do Not Redeem. They are going to square out in our finals. Unfortunately, Gmeow has gone down, but this hasn't been a week for the favorites. KNS have been destroyed. Gmeow have been dismantled, and the finals will be a single group affair. Lads, that was an absolute banger of a series, and Old and Wash shows that their teamwork is just superior.
Yeah, Old and Wash is definitely going to be the favorites coming into the finals for me.
I mean, they've been playing on point, apart from a couple hiccups in that game too. They've just been looking great. Their drafting has been excellent. They've been putting the pieces together that they need to win these games. And boy, are they playing an exciting a game with their team fights?
Yeah, what a series we were gifted to be able to watch there. A 44-minute in a game three. It doesn't get any closer than that in the OBL.
Absolutely not, and especially between some of these top talents, MVP caliber players, Govos, Tezza, Braden, Griff, all of these guys, they're the big names in the league, squaring out in the semi-finals. This could have easily been a finals matchup.
Easily. Yeah, and the damage from Griff's Victor is pretty substantial on that one. That's for sure. Yeah, the Garen as well too. Just
Yeah, it was
crazy.
an
Look at the
awesome.
gold difference at the end. 7,000k gold, 7,000 gold between the
Just in the top
Garen and
lane, yeah.
Cassante. Yeah,
Jeez, yeah. Definitely one of my picks for, if we did MVPs of the series, You Can Dream was just an absolute nightmare. Even on that Scion game, he was doing his job perfectly, but yeah, unfortunately, a couple pieces from the side of Gmeow didn't pull it together when they needed it most.
Yeah, if you ask me, I think MVP of Game Three definitely goes to the Rakan. He was able to start the snowball with some crucial ultimates around the dragon fights early on. But for the MVP of the series, for me, that has to go to Griff. He's played so well in all three games.
Yeah,
yeah,
barring some wayward Vex ults, I think, we were looking at this mid lane matchup as the sort of marquee matchup for the series, and Griff has done amazing. Govos, shifting away from his typical playstyle, obviously did have an incredible performance on the rise, but not known for these control mages, and potentially a wildcard Akali or a Yone or something could have been the difference maker in that game there.
Yeah, Govos just wasn't able to lock in any of his signature champions. I think Old and Wash were just too wise to what he wanted to pick and just always seemed to have an answer, or threaten to pick into it. Um, the Vex. I know they lost the game too on the Vex, but just locking in the Vex denies the ability to um, lock in the Yone and the Akali, obviously. And in game three, yeah, he wasn't able to get his signature champions either. Getting put on Azir duty when he's known for his melee carries in the mid lane.
Yeah, I did see the methodology behind it. They had just won a super late game last time where they did extend the game out and play off of a really late game thing. But I think they, dipped their feet too far into that pond, thinking, hey, look, if we just get the Sivir, we get the Azir, we'll make it to 45 minutes and we'll win the game, no problem. But they didn't give themselves a shot in that mid game. They didn't give themselves any tools. The jungler just didn't have as much autonomy as it needed to have. The Cassante first pick was a little bit ill advised in my opinion as well.
yeah. Got off to a good start, but couldn't really actually make anything happen after that.
Potentially, if they had swapped out that Cassante for say like a Rumble or something, they might have had a little bit more of a team fight shot. But they said Meat Bun's been our tank guy. Let's keep on keeping on.
Yeah, sure did.
Too easy. That will be us from the caster desks around the southern hemisphere. Thanks for joining us, and make sure to tune in this Sunday at 7 p.m. for the Division 2 All Stars. It's going to have some banger games, some fun little formats on those games. We're going to be dishing out a couple of awards. Make sure you're there. You could have been the winner of the $25 RP card. So that's going to be a couple banger games. And then we'll just have to see when these finals are going to get played because it's going to be an absolute banger between two teams that are currently on fire.
Yes, it will be. It'll be crazy. Got
I think
great matchups all around.
I think it's a tall task for Do Not Redeem. I view them as a pretty heavy underdogs, looking at how Old and Wash just played.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Gmeow was gonna be pretty comfortable in this matchup. They have a lot of advantages across the lanes, but yeah, the team play from Old and Washed is just exceptional. These guys look like they've been playing together since beta.
Because they're
Yeah,
old.
yeah, and I'm sure lots of these guys have played in tournaments together as well. Given they've all got quite an extensive tournament history.
No, it's good, and they just understand how everyone wants to play these fights, and they set up the drafts accordingly. You know, they're not too worried about what the other team is drafting, and they just draft, their comfort.
And comfort, especially in final games. I mean, that's where you want to have it. You want to feel like your hands know where they're placed and the buttons you're pressing are the right ones. And that's what got them the win here. So yeah, thank you again for everyone who joined us for this one. We've had a great time. Thank you for sticking with us through a couple delays and a few pauses. Just a Wi-Fi diff, unfortunately, tonight. But we will be back stronger than ever for the finals. And we will see you then. Hopefully everyone has a great long weekend.
Enjoy Easter and catch you on Sunday. And also make sure to sign up for the 1v1 tournament. Just got posted in the announcements. Make sure you jump in there and show off your main champions. All right, thank you, champions. Thanks to Wrangel again for joining us. Your insight invaluable. You're an absolute legend, mate.
Thank you. It was great to cast alongside you guys. I'm really looking forward to the finals. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right.
Adios.
Everyone, see ya.
Bye. GG's.
You guys looking at Gen?